Part 26. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 251. Yu Yao noticed the change in Butler G's expression and looked at it. Lin Jiwan was pulling Sci-fucking to take pictures in the corner. There were many guests coming and going, and they all took a look. After all, Sci-fucking's face really can't even be black. Sci-fucking turned his head in a conscious way. At this moment, Stewart G also saw her face clearly, and couldn't help taking a breath. Her expression was light, without the previous smile. His eyes didn't stay on Yu Yao for even half a second, and he quickly moved away. Yu Yao frowned and called out, "Stewart G." Stewart G suddenly returned to his senses, and he was a little embarrassed. "I'm sorry, young master Yu, I'm really rude." "No need to apologize." Yu Yao didn't get angry, just smiled. "Butler G knows that female star." "I don't know, but I almost recognized the wrong person just now." Butler G was very apologetic. "I'm not afraid of young master Yu's jokes. At first glance, I thought the young lady was here. It's strange. She obviously looks different from the young lady." He was also very puzzled. If you have to say similarities, there are still similarities, such as eyebrows, eyes, and lips. But it is true that beautiful people are more or less alike. It's not a physical resemblance, but an indescribable resemblance. Yu Yao's brows furrowed even tighter, and his expression was also cold. "I almost missed it, but King Gui is King Gui, unique, and no one can compare. Young master Yu would be very happy if he told her this in person." Butler G stopped paying attention to Sci-fucking. "Miss also likes to chat with young master Yu the most." Butler G didn't take Sci-fucking to heart at all. How can a female star compare to Miss G's family? Even if a female star can marry into a wealthy family, it is also a tool for giving birth to a son. Not a person from the world. There is no need to care. Just now you said that King Gui is embroidering the map of 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains." Yu Yao smiled again. "I didn't expect that." Even though King Gui was in a deep boudoir, he still had such lofty ambitions. Yes, Stewart G was also very happy. "When the lady is finished embroidering, I will take it to the Tiandi Alliance to show President Gu. He should be satisfied this time." Yu Yao nodded. "Gu Huiyan's vision is too high. He has only accepted nominal disciples before, and there are no closed disciples. If Ji King Gui can take Gu Huiyan as her teacher, her artistic attainments will definitely be higher." The two chatted while walking and went to the box where the Yu family was. And here, Lin Jiwan finally took enough photos and picked the best one as a screensaver. "Ching Ching, I like you very much." She looked adoring. "I'm your mother's fan." Sci-fucking. After a few seconds, she politely said, "Actually, you don't need to add the last sentence. That won't work. The attributes of the fans must be clear. I'm not the same as the group of girlfriend fans." Lin Jiwan was in high spirits. "By the way, King Bao and I am your male fan at the same table. He even gave me a copy of yours photo album." Sci-fucking raised his eyebrows. "Are you at the same table?" "My table mate is definitely more than 1.8 meters. Lin Jiwan thought about it. "It's also very good to play basketball." Sci-fucking was very interested. "Oh." It turned out that Nian Yan asked her for an autographed photo to give to Lin Jiwan. "The world is really too small. When I go back to school the day after tomorrow, I'll show her the group photo of the two of us." Lin Jiwan held his face. "I want to make him envious." "Yes, let him be envious." Sci-fucking took out his phone and started taking selfies. Lin Jiwan was curious. "King Bao, what are you shooting now?" Sci-fucking calmly said, "I'll post a selfie to ask about your fan attributes." Lin Jiwan looked blank. Huh. When she was still in a daze, Weibo sounded a special attention tone. Lin Jiwan clicked to take a look. "Atsifyukingv, where did I make you feel that I was young? Why are you calling me cub?" Below are 9 selfies. Full of aggressiveness, One by one eyes can indeed kill. My wife will take a selfie. Cub, mother loves you. Since you ask so, then I'll change from a girlfriend fan to a mother fan. Actually, we are all career fans. Sci-fucking looked at the screen full of cubs in silence, and began to wonder if the way she entered the entertainment industry was wrong this time. Lin Jiwan hesitated and whispered, because you were cute when you killed the goose, and you were only 18 years old, so we all raised you as a daughter and a fan. Sci-fucking. She decided that she wanted Sang Yanking to report her to a horror variety show, and it was time to show her max-level boyfriend power. Ching ching, can I ask quietly? Lin Jiwan's voice was even lower, which role are you playing in Dragon Crossing? I will definitely not say it. Filming will start in a few days. Sci-fucking looked lazy, it's okay to tell you in advance, I'm playing Sui Yan. Lin Jiwan was stunned for a moment, and then his eyes widened, the heroine. Yes, Sci-fucking nodded and smiled, I like this role very much. Teacher Lu is looking for me. I'll go first. Let's get in touch when I have time. Lin Jiwan stared blankly at Sci-fucking being picked up by Lu Ningsheng. The brain is still crackling. Sui Yan. She was also guessing what Sci-fucking would play, and boldly guessed a female number 2 demon princess, but she didn't expect the reality to be bolder. Lin Jiwan screamed inwardly, ready to wash his face and calm down. On the way, I met Lin Wansu and took Su Jianian to the fit area. Lin Jiwan stopped and gave Lin Wansu a sideways glance. Lin Wansu felt chills when she saw her, she pursed her lips, Miss Ji Huan, what do you mean by looking at me like that? I see you are pitiful and don't know it. Lin Jiwan smiled slightly, seeing that your face is bigger than a plate, you don't have a brain when you bring everything. Although she didn't know what Lin Wansu was playing in Dragon Crossing, she was just a match for Sci-fucking anyway. Also use crossing the devil to step on Sci-fucking? Don't even see if you're worthy. Lin Jiwan took another look at the man beside Lin Wansu. It looked familiar, but it was so tightly wrapped that I couldn't tell what it looked like. Lin Jiwan didn't care either and went back to the box. Lin Wansu's voice was trembling with anger, Jianian, she is really going too far. Okay, Su Jianian pinched his eyebrows, who made her the master? Don't care. Lord? That's not necessarily true. Lin Wansu's eyes darkened, now that she is so arrogant, sooner or later I will ask her to return it to me. After all the guests had arrived, the wedding banquet officially began. Shen 11 was a little nervous, and he didn't breathe a sigh of relief until he finished worshipping heaven and earth. Fortunately, he was the first to marry a wife. There is one person I want to thank in particular. Lu Ningsheng was still wearing a red hijab. She picked up the microphone and looked solemn, it's Jing Qing, I can say that without her, I would never stand here. The guests were all in an uproar. Sci-fucking, who was at the table with Lu Ningsheng's parents, remembered her face. Although Lu Ningsheng was only the daughter-in-law of the Shen family, his words and deeds represented the Shen family. They can't equate Sci-fucking with ordinary female stars. Originally, Lu Ningsheng planned to thank Zhang Changfeng. But she also realized that Zhang Changfeng's origin did not seem simple, so she thanked him privately. Zhang Changning glanced at Zhang Changfeng and said slowly, brother, you are so pitiful, you can count the number of slaps of the opposite sex you have come into contact with. It's either an old lady or a married one. Zhang Changfeng was expressionless, actually, you don't need to talk. The two brothers and sisters were sitting next to Sci-fucking, and they were also the main table. The other side. Ninth uncle, how do you feel when Qing Qing appears as Lu Tianho's maiden family? Yu Tang deliberately sighed, hey, Qing Qing could have played with us originally. Yu Xian's expression didn't change, she just drank the tea lightly, have you finished your homework? Are you ready for the military training the day after tomorrow? Yu Tang instantly wilted. She should have known, she would never be able to subdue her ninth uncle. When the banquet started, Lu Ningsheng and Shen 11 went to the back to change into toast clothes. Feng San appeared silently. Ninth brother, there is news from Linkhung that the Zhou clan is very strange. Before they do anything, the Zhou clan is already powerless. It seems that there is a force in the dark, forcing the Zhou clan to collapse. Well, Yu Zian propped her head up. Where's the stuff? I've found it, Feng San said. I'll be there tomorrow morning. Yu Zian nodded. Give it directly to you girls. Feng San nodded, suddenly feeling that something was wrong. What is you girls? He went back to inquire about the meaning of the names Shenying and Kenyaning. At this time, Linkhung. In a few days, the Zhou group was completely bankrupt. No matter how you can save it, it can't be saved. Shareholders were also overwhelmed and found the opportunity to withdraw from the board of directors. Only Mr. Feng is left, and he is also transferring assets. Elder Feng, something happened. Zhou Yuanlin ran in a panic. A group of people came just now, dug my family's ancestral grave, and even took away my uncle's coffin. Old Feng really didn't care much about the Zhou family, but when he heard Zhou Yuanlin say this, he was shocked. Dig the ancestral grave? Who did it? What's the difference between this and a corpse? Who hates the Zhou family so much? I don't know either. Zhou Yuanlin's calf was trembling. I only know that they are very powerful and can't be provoked. It seems that they came from Sijukan. Zhou Tianfeng was taken away by the law enforcement team, and that is the sky in Sijukan. It's your uncle, not your grandfather. Don't worry about it. Feng Lao pondered for a while, then sneered. It's their family's retribution after all. Even I thought your uncle was doing charity and adopted Sci-fucking, but he didn't. Thinking that it turned out to be malicious abduction, it also caused us to fall into trouble. Old Feng now hates old Master Zhou to the core. Zhou Yuanlin wiped his sweat. But, Mr. Feng, what should the company do? It can't last anymore. You can only sell the assets. Feng Lao gritted his teeth. Then all the money owed by the company will be transferred to Zhou Xianyu. It is the debt left by her grandfather. Of course, she is required to pay it back. It's still Feng Laoying's name. Zhou Yuanlin finally smiled. The Zhou group was made into the state by their family. They should apologize. The two looked at each other and understood each other's thoughts. They naturally want to run away with money. As for what happens to Zhou Xianyu, that's not their concern. Zhou Xianyu didn't know that old Master Zhou's grave was dug, and all the debts of Zhou's group were transferred to her name. She contacted the two Onmyoji who appeared at the funeral of the old man Zhou, and flew to Sijukan again to meet the brothers. Hello, Miss Zhou Xianyu. The young man shook hands with her and smiled slightly. My surname is Fujiyama, and Shinji is my name. This is my junior brother Fujiyama's family. You can call it whatever you want. Nice to meet you, Mr. Fujiyama. Zhou Xianyu pursed her lips. Can you really help me get all the luck on her body? Our profession is about bartering. Fujiyama Shinji smiled lightly. Since Miss Zhou has paid so much, it is natural for us to help the two brothers, but please also remember that if you fail, the reward is non-refundable. Zhou Xianyu's expression changed. She gritted her teeth. Okay, I still choose to ask her luck. If there is no business talent, she is a waste. Worse than death, she can't accept it. The Fujiyama family is the first yin-yang family, and they will definitely not fail. Then ask Miss Zhou to lead the way. Fujiyama Shinji nodded. We have to solve it tonight. Tonight is the full moon night of August 15th, and it is also the time when my junior brother and I are the most powerful. On the night of the full moon, the yin and yang world will be intertwined with reality. Hundreds of ghosts are prevalent, and the practice of Onmyoji can be multiplied with half the effort. The headquarters of the occult authority is not located in Sijukan. Although the Kinjun alliance represents absolute force, there are too few evolutionaries in the alliance to threaten him. Fujiyama Shinji. A daughter of luck who has lost 90% of her luck, It is easy to deal with. I said from the beginning that this is an anti-entertainment article. It's like this, many readers have reported to me that XX book is plagiarizing Ying Huang. In fact, I know that the previous book has been copied into a sieve, covering my face, and now there are more than a dozen copies, and I have given feedback to the editor many times. If you find it, you can report it directly, thank you. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 252. She's still attending the wedding banquet now. Zhou Xianyu hesitated. The wealthy families in the 4 and 9 cities are all there, and the security system is very strong, so I'm afraid there is no way to bring people out. A wealthy family in the 4-9 cities. Humph. A group of ordinary fish with only Qian Quan Fujiyama. Shinji waved his hand. Miss Zhou, don't worry, we don't have to go in, I'll let my Shikigami take her out. Zhou Xianyu was stunned. Shishijin. Fujiyama. Shinji said lightly, it's just a gadget. Before Zhou Xianyu could clearly see what gesture he made, he saw a bird-like shape. Fujiyama Jiating opened his mouth to explain more. This is a spiritual body enslaved by Onmyoji. Everyone's Shikigami is different. Brother's Shikigami is a crow, and some floating spirits will be temporarily used by us as Shikigami. To manipulate. There are some people who have died, but they do not believe that they are dead, or they still have a deep nostalgia for this world, and they will become floating spirits. But now there are very few floating spirits. At least since their brothers and sisters stepped into the summer, they have not seen a floating spirit. Zhou Xianyu took a deep breath. No wonder Fujiyama Shinji is dismissive of the giants of the 4-9 cities. What is money and power in front of absolute power? Even if it was the Yu family, the number one wealthy family in the 4-9 cities, the entire family might not be able to resist the Onmyoji. Zhou Xianyu couldn't help but say, what are the requirements for becoming an Onmyoji? Is it harsh? Hearing this sentence, Fujiyama Shinji finally raised his head and looked Zhou Xianyu up and down. Of course it is harsh, it depends on talent, not hard work. Zhou Xianyu pursed her lips. Why didn't she have the talent to become an Onmyoji? But Zhou Xianyu can also understand that if everyone has it, wouldn't Onmyoji go everywhere? As long as Sci-fi's luck is good, she doesn't think about anything else. Okay, we'll wait here. Fujiyama Shinji said lightly, Shikigami will naturally bring her to us. The wedding party is still going on. Lu Ningsheng and Shen 11 came out to toast after changing their clothes. She also specially posted a photo of her and Sci-fi on Weibo. The guests could see that Lu Ningsheng attached great importance to Sci-fi. Some people also went up to chat with Sci-fi and talked about some business matters. Master Yu said just now that she is a female star, and that's in Madame Lu's circle. Butler Ji shook his head. I guess this is paving the way for her to marry into a wealthy family. Female stars have a dream of marrying into a wealthy family. A good relationship will definitely recommend each other. He doesn't like this kind of behavior. Even if a wealthy family marries a female star, isn't it because they look good and can be placed as a vase? Yu Yao frowned and said coldly, don't even think about it. Butler Ji was stunned. Master Yu hates that female star. He saw that Sci-fi was beautiful, the kind of appearance that could unify the aesthetics, and it was difficult to make people feel bad. Yu Yao didn't speak, just pursed his lower lip. The wedding banquet is about to end. Butler Ji did not continue to probe further. It's getting late, I'll go back and bring the sweet-scented Osman Thus cake from East Street to Miss. Yu Yao's eyebrows stretched out. I'll go with you. Okay. Butler Ji was pleasantly surprised. Then I'll tell my wife first. Master Yu wants to stay overnight. After the wedding banquet, the guests also dispersed one by one under the guidance of the waiter. Lin Wansu was going to go out with Su Jianian through the back door and drop by on a date. She asked Su Jianian to go first. After all, there were still many media squatting outside. Yes, It's you. Lin Bojian saw Lin Wansu with sharp eyes. Come here quickly, what did you just run for? There's no tutoring at all, come and apologize. Lin Wansu's expression changed. Big, uncle. Not yet, Lin Bojian was very impatient. How did your parents teach you? Come here and apologize to Miss Si. After he finished speaking, he said apologetically to Si fucking, Miss Si, my niece is really ignorant. She ran away without saying hello to you just now. I'll go back and ask her parents to teach her a lesson. Lin Wansu only felt that the blood all over her body was flowing backwards, and her head was congested, and it buzzed again. Especially seeing that Lin Qingchen and Lin Jiwan were both half a step behind Si fucking, it was obviously a gesture of respect. Lin Wansu never thought that Si fucking had already asked her to look up before she put any money into it. How can you do this? Under Lin Bojian's displeased gaze, Lin Wansu had to bite the bullet and step forward. She lowered her head in humiliation. Hello, Miss Si, just now I'm very sorry, If Si fucking maliciously slandered her in front of Lin Bojian, she would definitely run away. Thinking of this, Lin Wansu's tears suddenly fell. Lin Bojian couldn't hold back his anger. Why are you crying? What's the big deal? Si fucking didn't look at Lin Wansu. Uncle Lin, I'll go first. Okay, Lin Bojian also ignored Lin Wansu and laughed. I'll let Qing Chen and Jivan send you off, and I'll discuss the project with other shareholders. Several shareholders next to them also smiled and said, without Miss Si, we really can't win this project. Lin Wansu's ears were ringing, and she didn't know how she left. Lin Qingchen and Lin Jiwan sent Si fucking out. On the side, a tall and straight man narrowed his eyes and said slowly, check this Si fucking. The special assistant respectfully said, yes, Mr. Li. Outside. Ching, I'm waiting for you to come to Bizhu number 1 middle school. Lin Jiwan reluctantly said, I can make up for you. Si fucking raised his eyebrows, okay, see you on the day of the report. Lin Jiwan nodded, She has already planned her schedule for the next semester. There is basically no new knowledge to be learned in the third year of high school. She only needs to do a few more sets of papers to free up time to watch Si fucking in the crew of Crossing the Devil. Beautiful high school life. Thinking of this, Lin Jiwan poked Nian Yan on QQ. Lin Jiwan, my table mate, I'll go back tomorrow. Bring the paper you made. See you at the coffee shop. Nian Yan, otherwise, you should consider me dead. Lin Jiwan, that's not good. I told you that I am very motivated now, and it will definitely be more effective for you to make up lessons. Nian Yan looked at the words full of energy and suddenly felt that it was a wrong decision for him to ask Lin Jiwan to make up lessons for him. Ian Yezhenmian knocked on the door. Have you finished your homework? Nian Yan sighed, no. Then you've been studying for too long today. Yezhenmian said, I made you a late night snack, come out to eat. Nian Yan rubbed his head, got up and went out. Yezhenmian's cooking skills are really good, with all the colors and flavors. Mom, what's the filling for this dumpling? Nian Yan took a bite of the iced dumpling. It's delicious. That's good. Yezhenmian was relieved. This is my newly invented snack. Since you like it, other students must also like it. Nian Yan. Co-author, he is just a tool for cooking. Nian Yan quickly finished the bowls and went back to the bedroom to write the papers. 49 cities here. Feng San pushed Yu Zian to the parking lot. He was a little strange to see Yu Tang coming back alone. Where's Miss Si? Didn't you see Miss Yu Tang? No, Yu Tang was discouraged. Ching was no longer there when I went. I don't know if she was invited away by Lu Tianho. Probably not. Feng San wasn't sure. Miss Lu just got married. Even if she wants to invite Miss Si over, Mr. Shen will definitely disagree. Yu Tang became nervous. Then Ching couldn't have an accident, right? Feng San's expression also changed. There are too many big and small families here today. With Sci-fi's good looks there, it is indeed possible that something will go wrong. There will always be people who are not afraid of death. Feng San immediately said, "Ninth brother, let's go to Miss Si." Yu Zian finally spoke up, "No, she's playing now." Feng San. Yu Zian put down the phone. Above is a message sent just a few minutes ago. Girl, boss, I have a new toy, I'm going to play carrot. Carrot. Feng San saw this sentence. At a glance, I saw the smiley face in the last emoji. Almost instantly, the hairs on his body stood on end, and goosebumps fell to the ground. Yu Zian turned off the phone, and glanced at Feng San, who was shaking. "I'm not playing with you." Feng San. Of course he knew, but his body couldn't control it. Feng San asked cautiously, "Then, shall we wait for Miss Si here?" Yu Zian closed her eyes. "You send Yu Tang back." Okay. Feng San immediately left with Yu Tang. Meanwhile, in an abandoned underground garage, Si slowly opened his eyes. It was pitch black and there were only a few lights around. Si, I didn't expect you to fall into my hands." Zhou Xianyu's eyes were full of pleasure and hatred. "Do you still want to contact the big family? Do you think someone will come to save you?" Si frowned. "The stolen things are gone, and the brain is gone." This sentence completely hit Zhou Xianyu's pain point. Her voice was high and her tone changed. "Nonsense. It's my thing, what did I steal?" "Miss Zhou, don't be angry," Fujiyama Shinji said in a timely manner. "The anger will hurt the body, and it will also make the next transfer of chi go wrong." Zhou Xianyu calmed down. Si raised his head, his eyes narrowed. "Transfer of luck. First of all, let me introduce myself." Fujiyama Shinji smiled politely. "My surname is Fujiyama, my first name is Shinji, this is my junior brother Fujiyama's family. We studied under Master Shizuya Fujiyama, but with your knowledge, you should have never heard of my surname Fujiyama." Fujiyama-jing has also been in retreat for a long time, and he also mentioned something to him before retreating. He said that he went to the Great Xia Empire 13 years ago, and he wanted to find an Onmyoji to learn from each other, but he did not expect to meet a daughter of luck who was robbed of 90% of his luck on the road. But the horror of the girl of luck is that even if she loses 90% of her luck, the remaining 10% is still too large to be imagined by others. Shizuo Fujiyama will also choose to transfer the luck of the daughter of luck to the Zhou family, just to hone his own abilities. However, after returning, Fujiyama-jing also sighed with embarrassment many times, saying that if he went to Sijukan earlier, he might be able to meet the daughter of luck who has 100% luck. Only then will it be useful to his Fujiyama family. 10% of the luck can't get into their eyes at all. Fujiyama Shinji looked at Si with pity in his eyes. It's a pity that the daughter of luck herself didn't know she was the daughter of luck, and she was robbed of luck by others in vain. I've heard of the surname Fujiyama. Si was unhurried. In 704 of the Xia calendar, your ancestor went west to Daxia, and learned the way of yin and yang and the 5 elements from my ancestor of Daxiaji's family. For your Fujiyama family. I read the records in the history books that in order to get the consent of the Ji family's ancestors, your ancestors would get up every day at the 3rd watch to clean the Ji family's yard, serve tea and water, and be a cow and a horse. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of Fujiyama Shinji and the Fujiyama family's senior brothers sank. The historical records are of course true. Even if the Fujiyama family hides this history intentionally or unintentionally, it is an indelible fact. 20 years after the death of Emperor Yin, Daxia entered an unprecedented prosperity. Come to congratulate from all directions, and worship from all directions. Not only Dongsang, but also the Western continent will send envoys and merchants to visit Daxia. But today is different. Not to mention ordinary people, even if the G family came out again, they would not be able to stand up in front of his Fujiyama family. Otherwise, the G family wouldn't even know about the daughter of luck in Daxia. This young lady's history is a good one. Nobuyuki Fujiyama smiled but said, "You should know even more if you have studied history, how weak your Daxia is now, and there is only one supernatural bureau that you can see. But don't even think that the supernatural administration will come. Tonight with the full moon, how much energy of the evolutionary people will get out of control. They are very busy." Fujiyama Jingyi, his junior brother Fujiyama Zianyi fucking nodded slowly. She smiled, "Do you know how your uncle died?" "Good morning, wow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 253. Fujiyama Shinji's expression changed for the first time. It's not surprising that fucking can name Shizuo Fujiyama. After all, he just reported himself as a teacher. Shizuo Fujiyama is in her 30s this year, but she has a very deep knowledge of yin and yang, so she has a high reputation in Dongsang. But the name Fujiyama Kenya is a taboo for the Fujiyama family. 6 years ago, the 300 onmyoji of the Fujiyama family joined forces in the Dongling Strait to summon 100 ghosts, which is called 100 Ghosts Night Walk. This is a very difficult formation, and the Fujiyama family has also studied it for several years. After failing more than 1,000 times, it finally succeeded. Likewise, 100 Ghosts Night Walk is also extremely powerful. Even an S-level evolutionary would be powerless to fight back in front of Begui Yexing. 100 Ghosts Night Walk was originally a weapon used by the Fujiyama family to attack the Ji family. But the bad thing is that he met Yu Wu. Hundreds of ghosts are wiped out. Not to mention the Ji family in Dongzhou, even the coastline failed to break through. And Yu Wu retreated completely, and his sleeves were not stained with any dust. No one even knows whether it is male or female or old or young. Also this battle. Yu Wu did not attack the 300 onmyoji, but only broke the 100 Ghosts Night Walk. But because 100 Ghosts Night Walk consumed the vitality of onmyoji, the 300 onmyoji didn't even have the ability to return to Dongsang, and they all died one by one. The leader of the onmyoji is Fujiyama Kenya. He bears the core of the Great Formation. The 100 Ghosts Night Walk is broken, and he suffers even greater backlash. The Fujiyama family didn't even have time to save Fujiyama Xian, and the 3 souls and 7 souls were broken. The death of 300 onmyoji was a huge shame to the Fujiyama family, and the matter was banned from being brought up. As the years passed, Dongsang gradually forgot, and Daxia didn't even know it. Fucking is a native of Daxia, and he only needs to know the history of onmyoji. How did he know the name Fujiyama Kenya? Fujiyama Shinji's eyes darkened. How do you know my uncle's name? How do you know that he has passed away? Yes, I fucking laughed lazily, because I was there when he died, so I killed him, right? As soon as these words came out, Fujiyama Shinji's face changed again. Mr. Fujiyama, she just likes to say some weird things. Zhou Zianyu sneered. You don't need to worry about her, she does have some skills, but she can only play a few gangster bodyguards. How can she compare with onmyoji? The power possessed by onmyoji has long exceeded the imagination of ordinary people. Not to mention fucking's poor skills, the international boxing champion is also vulnerable in front of onmyoji. However, Fujiyama Shinji's heart had already moved with killing intent. No matter how fucking knew, when he transferred her luck to Zhou Zianyu, fucking would die. Miss Zhou, let's get started. Fujiyama Shinji stopped looking at fucking. Don't worry, she will never be able to break free, my Shikigami will look at her, she moves. His shoulder was suddenly patted, and the Fujiyama family's voice trembled, "Master, senior brother." Before Fujiyama Shinji turned his head, there was a sudden heart-wrenching pain in his chest. Unable to bear it for a while, he suddenly knelt on the ground and let out a shrill scream. "Mr. Fujiyama," Zozayanyu's expression changed. She stepped forward to help him up, but she couldn't. Instead, she was bounced off by some force and hit the wall behind her. The Fujiyama family must be the only one still standing. He widened his eyes and stared at the girl who stood up. In an instant, everything was clear in my mind. She was not trapped by Fujiyama Shinji's Shikigami, but was deliberately pretending to be unconscious. Si moved his wrist, raised his right hand, and said calmly, "Your Shikigami, are you talking about this?" She held a black crow in her hand. "This crow is not an entity, but a spirit." Crack knock dash. The crisp sound fell, and the cracks were covered with spiritual crows. In a few seconds, the spiritual crows shattered to the ground and quickly dissipated. Fujiyama Shinji's body was extremely stiff. He looked at the empty ground in disbelief. Someone could directly destroy his Shikigami. Shikigami is a part of Onmyoji's power. If Shikigami is destroyed, Onmyoji's power will be greatly damaged. What's more, this crow is his natal Shikigami. If it is destroyed, his cultivation will also go backwards. If not treated in time, it may even become a waste. Fujiyama Shinji endured the angina in his heart. He bit his finger and began to draw something on the ground. However, after the painting, nothing happened. Fujiyama Shinji lost his temper. Where's the floating spirit? Why isn't there a floating spirit within 100 miles? The natal Shikigami was destroyed, and there was no floating spirit for him to control. What should he do now? Do you still want to find the floating spirit in Shijukan? Si squatted down in front of him slowly and smiled. Should I say you are naive or stupid? This is Daxia, not you Dongsang. I am Daxia, no ghost. Fujiyama Shinji screamed, slumped to the ground, and finally shouted out of control, "Who are you? Who are you? You are not the daughter of luck. If Si can destroy his Shikigami, he must be an Onmyoji. Where can an Onmyoji of this level have their luck taken away? I have a few other names." Si held on to the Fujiyama family who wanted to escape, with great interest. "Also, my only advantage is that I don't tell lies." The previously joking words echoed in Fujiyama Shinji's ears again. "Do you know how your uncle died?" "I killed." Fujiyama Shinji's eyes were filled with blood, and he collapsed directly. "Yuwu." "Yes, only Yuwu can directly destroy his Shikigami. Only Yuwu knew the Battle of the 100 Ghosts in the Dongling Strait 6 years ago. It can only be Yuwu." This time, Fujiyama Shinji completely lost the will to escape and survive. "This is Yuwu." Yuwu, who was unable to stop the 300 Onmyoji of the Fujiyama family. How dare he? Although the Ji family has been out of the world for 100 years, and the Fujiyama family is confident enough, they will definitely bypass Dongzhou when they enter the summer. Who knows if the Ji family has any trump cards? He didn't meet the Ji family, but he met Yuwu. Might as well meet the Ji family. At least the Ji family were not as rude as Yuwu. The double oppression both physically and mentally made Fujiyama Shinji's eyes dark and fainted. Zozayanyu was terrified and fell to the ground screaming constantly. The scene in front of her was completely beyond her comprehension. What exactly is going on? The Fujiyama family looked up tremblingly. "Senior Yuwu, my senior brother and I were deceived. We definitely have no intention of harming you. It's all that woman, it's all her. It's her who thinks I want your luck. It's not good for me." Si smiled. "See if your master dares to say this in front of me." The Fujiyama family couldn't bear the fear and passed out. At the corner of the wall, Zozayanyu held his head and looked terrified. "Yes, I forgot something. Si fucking turned his head, his eyes finally fell on Zhou Xianyu. I'm an onmyoji, do you want to take this talent away too? I'll give it to you, do you want it? Zhou Xianyu's body was trembling constantly, and his teeth were shaking. Si fucking, the devil. You are the devil. How common is a business genius? Si fucking stepped forward and pinched Zhou Xianyu's chin, forcing her to raise her head. Being an onmyoji, won't you get more money, power, fame, and fortune? Isn't that what you think? Zhou Xianyu was about to say something when he suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood. Si fucking took a step back in time, glanced at the black blood on the ground, and raised his eyebrows. Zhou Xianyu's face was bloodless, and the feeling on his body was more obvious. She could feel that her vitality was also passing quickly, and she couldn't catch it. Si fucking. What have you done to me? Zhou Xianyu's voice was trembling and hoarse. Did you take my luck away? On the way here, she heard Fujiyama Shinji say that once a person's luck is plundered, he will die, and he will not even be able to reincarnate. Si fucking folded his arms and said lightly, exchange your prosperity and wealth for this lifetime. You are really stupid to make a deal with Dongsang's onmyoji. After she takes back the luck that belongs to her, the person who takes her luck will be severely backfired. There's no need to put in any more effort. Unless it is like Zhou Zonghe and Zhou Qinjie who actively seek death. After all, although these two people also have her luck, they are very few, and the backlash is not so serious. She cleans up and moves around. Si fucking did not expect Zhou Xianyu to make such a deal with Fujiyama Shinji for the so-called business talent. Zhou Xianyu's face was pale, his lips were trembling, and he had no strength to say another word. She now knows that she and Si fucking are not from the same world at all. Even if she is still a business genius, even if she holds tens of billions of listed companies, she still can't get close to Si fucking's level. Even the onmyoji of the Fujiyama family was not a match for Si fucking, she was still delusional about competing. From start to finish, only she was a clown. Zhou Xianyu spat out another mouthful of blood, and she laughed miserably. Si fucking, you must be very proud, you are so powerful, you didn't even say it, you are waiting for me here on purpose. Don't spit in front of me, Si fucking said lightly, I won't kill you, just go yourself. Zhou Xianyu was still vomiting blood, and her vision became blurred. She didn't know at all that not only in this life, but in every future life, her luck would be sluggish and she would die prematurely. This is the price of failure. Si fucking ignored Zhou Xianyu, she bent down, picked up Fujiyama Shinji and Fujiyama senior brothers with one hand, and dialed Ji Xingzi's phone with the other hand. Big brother, Ji Xingzi was sleepy, why did you call me in the middle of the night? I will send you two people from the Fujiyama family, Si fucking said. By the way, compliment you, the talisman paper you gave me has finally come in handy. Wait, Ji Xingzi suddenly woke up. Fujiyama. Well, according to them, it was Fujiyama Jing who also transferred my luck to the Zhou family, Si fucking said in a low voice, but before Fujiyama Jinja deployed, my luck had already lost 90%. Ji Xingzi's expression was unprecedentedly serious. This is bad, you didn't have a second precognition dream. No, Si fucking narrowed his eyes, we'll see you later. I'll be right over here. Ji Xingzi kicked a carp and quickly turned over and got out of bed. I promise to be in Sijukan before 8 in the morning. At 7:55 in the morning, Ji Xingzi hurried to Sijukan. It's these two. He checked the situation of Nobuyuki Fujiyama and took a deep breath. Brother, your strength has recovered a lot. You have abolished his shikigami. Yes, Si fucking nodded. It should be the reason why the Zhou family's luck was all recovered. Your luck is really terrifying. Ji Xingzi shook his head. Okay, I'll take these two away, and I will let them know why Daxia's flowers are so red. Si fucking unscrewed a bottle of Coke. What is the name of the chief elder of the Fujiyama family? I think about it. Jizengzi touched his head. It seems to be called Fujiyama Seiki. Where's the phone? Jizengzi reported a series of numbers. Brother, what are you going to do? I fucking dialed the phone. This is the phone number of the Fujiyama family, and the person answering the phone is the head of the Fujiyama family. Before he could ask, he heard a very neutral voice, cold and cold, let Fujiyama Seiki answer the phone. Who are you? The head of the Fujiyama family frowned. How can you see the elders if you want to see them? If someone calls and asks to see the Fujiyama family of elders, what prestige does the Fujiyama family have? The great elder was on the side, and he frowned when he heard the words, who is it? It's nothing, I'm just here to ask you. I fucking paused and smiled slightly. I forgot that 1500 years ago, your Fujiyama family was a slave and a horse for the G family, or 6 years ago, the lesson of your Fujiyama family's 300 on Myoji being left in Dongling High by me. Still forget about my Daxia territory, only your Fujiyama family can step into it. After finishing the outline, we will add more tomorrow. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 254. The owner of the Fujiyama family only felt like a thunderstorm kept blasting in his ears, and his head was buzzing. Fear spread wildly in his heart, and blood oozes out of his ears for a while. Shocking. There was silence in the hall. The elders sitting were not ordinary people, and Si fucking's voice was not low, and they heard these words clearly. I forgot about my Daxia territory, and only your Fujiyama family can step into it. If someone else said this, they would just dismiss it. But there is a sentence before this sentence. I forgot the lesson 6 years ago when the 300 onmyoji of your Fujiyama family were left in Dongling High by me. Yuwu, it's him who's back. The great elder's expression changed drastically. 6 years ago, it was him, can't be wrong. The Fujiyama family tried their best to cover up what happened 6 years ago, and even the younger generation of the Fujiyama family didn't know. With such an aura, such a boldness, apart from Yuwu himself, there will be no second person. Senior. Senior, calm down. The elder immediately grabbed the phone from the owner of the Fujiyama family, panicking. Senior's lesson, the Fujiyama family will never forget. No one knows the exact age of Yuwu, but the Fujiyama family has repeatedly speculated and verified that Yuwu is very young. The Fujiyama family has always bullied the weak, and the yin and yang world does not look at age, but only on strength. Whoever has the highest strength is the senior. Oh, Si fucking said in a cool tone, if you have a bad memory, I don't mind teaching you again. The elder's legs softened and he almost collapsed on the ground. Senior, you. Before he could finish his plea for mercy, the phone had been hung up. The elder hurriedly checked the caller ID, but found that there was no such number. Is encrypted. Go check it out, Master Fujiyama roared, who is going to Daxia again. The housekeeper hurried down and came back soon. Yes, it's 2 disciples from Mr. Jingyi's sect, they probably won't come back. When you meet Yuwu, do you still want to come back? Even if they can come back, they will definitely not let the 2 survive. The order goes on. The elder patted the table heavily. From today onwards, no one is allowed to go to Daxia. Before Jingyi leaves the customs, whoever dares to step into Daxia, I will kill him first. His heart was shaking. That's Yuwu. While talking and laughing, all the ghosts vanished into ashes. It's not that the Fujiyama family has never trained onmyoji who specialized in fighting, but they all ended up being 4 different things. The elder took a deep breath. The humiliation Yuwu brought to the Fujiyama family will one day take revenge for them all. Si Fu dumping put down the phone. She took out a few pieces of paper to wipe the sweat, and exhaled slowly. Big brother, it's awesome. Ji Xingzi watched the whole process. He was shocked. have you been able to kill Fujiyama's house alone? That Fujiyama-jing is also in retreat, I didn't find his place last time. I had to draw a few circles to curse him for failing to retreat. Si fucking was ruthless. No, didn't you see that I'm tired? Ji Xingzi opened his mouth wide, then you just. Although they can't, they were afraid of being beaten by me in the early years, and they won't dare to step into Daxia for at least a year. Si fucking folded his arms, the rest is up to you. Rely on me. Ji Xingzi was stunned, I can't either. Although I don't like the Fujiyama family, I have to admit that they are really strong, and my old man may not be able to do it. It's up to you to sneak into their house and blow up their ancestral hall, treasure house, cellar, etc. all over again. Si fucking patted his shoulder, break up a few more times, keep them in check, and wait until I get the rest back. Let's make a big deal out of luck. Ji Xingzi. And this kind of operation? By the way, do you know why I have precognitive dreams? Si fucking wiped his face, and how did it trigger it? Ji Xingzi returned to his senses. Before I came, I discussed it with my old man. You are a person with great luck and an onmyoji, who can communicate the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements. So when you see the culprit who stole your luck, you will feel it. Dreams have the function of predicting and indicating. Since Fujiyama Shizuya is just picking up leaks, then I can't be sure now. Ji Xingzi paced with his hands behind his back. The person who took 90% of your luck may not be an onmyoji. Throughout the 1,000 years of Daxia and Dongsang, both no onmyoji can do this. Si fucking narrowed his fox eyes. But there is one thing you can rest assured. Ji Xingzi is very confident, no matter who took it, my talisman paper and formation will always be useful, and will help you to recover your luck continuously. Big brother, you're onmyoji. The strength recovers quickly, which is also the reason. Si fucking felt it for a while, and nodded slightly, not bad. At that time, I will be able to track this person's location through the talisman paper. Ji Xingzi made a click gesture. Humph, dare to steal my elder brother's luck, wait for him to die. Even so, Ji Xingzi was also very worried. 10% of Si fucking's luck has been able to nourish the entire Zhou family, and 90% of the luck is even bigger, which cannot be endured by a single person or a family. He was thinking about it when the phone rang suddenly. Boss, Si fucking picked it up. I'm sorry, I'm having fun accidentally, don't be angry, I'll bring you breakfast back, and I'll squeeze your shoulders again. How can I be? What a dedicated and good employee I am. Ji Xingzi. Really unbelievable. With a murmur, he quickly picked up Fujiyama Shinji and the Fujiyama family's senior brothers, ready to take him back to Ji's family to test his new formation. Si fucking returned to the villa at 9:30. Yuzian sat on the sofa. After hearing the voice, he raised his eyes slightly, and his voice was indifferent. Do you still know how to come back? Si fucking stood up straight, obediently, boss, I was wrong. Feng San's mouth twitched. If he hadn't seen Miss C's true face, he would have been deceived by her current appearance. So deceptive. Ninth uncle, you have no heart. Yu Tang rebuked tearfully, how could you bully such a cute and beautiful Ching Ching? Si fucking blinked. Yuzian sighed and calmed down, have you had breakfast? Not yet. Si fucking raised his hand, I got a call from you, boss, and I came back immediately. She is so dedicated. Yuzian closed the book, go to breakfast, Sang Yanking is looking for you. Si fucking took a few buns, went back to the bedroom and changed into a set of clothes, and went out happily. Yu Tang watched her words and expressions, and immediately slipped away. If she stays any longer, she will definitely be beaten by ninth uncle. Feng San didn't feel anything, ninth brother, in fact, Miss Si is fine. She just loves to play at her age. Yuzian's tone was cool, neither happy nor angry, that's how you are a secret guard. Feng San. He is obviously getting paid, so why is it always him who gets hurt? Here, SI fucking took a few buns and went straight to the hotel where Sang Yanking was. After seeing her, Sang Yanking finally breathed a sigh of relief. Where did you go after attending the wedding banquet yesterday? Do you know that those entertainment reporters didn't take pictures of you, and they have already started arranging which son's bed you went to? Already. Removing harm for the people. SI fucking took a bite of the meat bun. It's really comfortable. Sang Yanking, are you finally changing careers as a criminal police officer? Before signing SI fucking, of course she watched every scene of 66 Days to Survive. The ability to survive is indeed very strong, and even Yuen Hepping, an old martial arts superstar, can't keep up with the pace of his boss fucking. No, SI fucking rubbed his chin. How could I be the one to catch me? Okay, don't kill the people first, take a look at these first. Sang Yanking put down the tablet computer, which were all screenshots of major forums. Look, some people say that you have already climbed up Shenyang Young Master's bed. Oh, what else is there? Young Master Lee, the family names of the big and small families in Sijukan are all on it. I don't even know them. SI fucking said lazily. Sister Sang, I believe you. Sue them and let them know that you are not easy to mess with. Sang Yanking. She lowered her head and noticed that SI fucking was still holding a scroll. What is this? Sang Yanking was curious when he saw the huge scroll. Are you painting? It's not painting, it's embroidery. SI Fu waited. It's a bit heavy, and it will definitely be overweight when sent by express. Another sum of money. She thought about it and sent a message to Gu Huiyan. SI fucking, Mr. Gu, do you mind express delivery? Gu Huiyan? Gu Huiyan, are you finished embroidering? How can I express it? I have to pick it up. SI fucking, it's fine. I know the Shen family. They are in charge of international and domestic logistics. They will deliver it to you this afternoon, and it's not a valuable item. Gu Huiyan, not precious. Sang Yanking didn't know that SI fucking was struggling with the courier fee, and was startled again. You can still embroider. It's okay. SI fucking thought for a while, a little bit. Is that so? Sang Yanking nodded. Did you know that Daxiatai is preparing a reality show for workplace observation? Huh, SI fucking put the embroidered pictures into the box. Yes, Director Chin and I mentioned it. This reality show is divided into 3 sections, Sang Yanking said. One is art, which is carried out in TND Alliance, the second is medicine, which is in the first hospital of Sijukan, and the last is legal affairs, which is in Star Court Law Office. The guests will participate as interns, and there will be special instructors and professionals, as well as many highly respected professors. SI fucking raised his head. What does Sister Sang mean? You come from a variety show background. I don't want to give you another variety show. The symbol of a variety show is very ugly. Sang Yanking looked serious, but the variety shows on Daxiatai are different. This is a show that can really learn something. Since your embroidery is so good, I'll give you an article on art. What do you think? SI fucking paused. Sister Sang, we can discuss it. In fact, I really don't. The salary is 3 million. Make a deal. Sang Yanking. She knew it. But you've participated in 66 Days of Survival and you know that the programs on Daxia channel are all public welfare programs. Sang Yanking sighed. If this variety show is filmed on another channel, your salary will be at least 3,000 yuan. Juan started. After all, 90% of the funds of many TV dramas now go to the actor's remuneration. A few days ago, she heard that a big flower's salary had reached 90 million. A few years after leaving the circle, Sang Yanking can't understand the current TV drama production mode. Before Ming Ming, the money was invested in clothing and other equipment. I think it's good. SI fucking squatted down, patted Xiaobai's head, and said lazily, how about it? I'm so righteous, I specially participate in variety shows to earn rations for you. Xiaobai stretched out his claws in a pleasing manner and gave a bow. Sang Yanking has become accustomed to communicating with his own artists and dogs. Okay, the wedding banquet is over, you take a 2-day break, and when Chiao borrows the antique, you will go to shoot the September cover of My Fair Lady. She patted Si's shoulder. Ching ching, I believe in you, you will definitely be able to bring the sales of the magazine to 500,000, even 1 million. Si. It's obviously a family that loves each other, so why hurt each other? Heaven and Earth alliance here. Gu Huiyan was very heartbroken, but the courier had already been sent, and he had no choice but to sit and wait. Every hour, he glances at the logistics tracking information. Until the door was knocked. Gu Huiyan's expression lifted. Quick, let's see if my courier is here. The middle-aged man immediately went to open the door. It was Steward Ji with 2 young people. Gu Huiyan was instantly disappointed. President Gu, I'm here to disturb you again. Butler Ji was very respectful. Our young lady has recently embroidered a new picture, and I would like to ask President Gu to give me some advice. Oh, Gu Huiyan pushed his glasses. You put it here. Thank you, President Gu. Steward Ji motioned for the 2 young people to take out the scroll and put it on the table. While untying the rope, he said with a smile, President Gu, what our young lady embroidered is the map of our great summer. His Majesty is surrounded by MODA's subordinates. Learn how Tang's little cutie assists. The prototype of this workplace observation reality show is exciting offer. See you in the afternoon. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 255. In the 5,000 years of the Great Summer, the mountains and rivers stretch for thousands of miles and are magnificent and extraordinary. There are mountains and rivers, there are plains, there are ice and snow, and there are basins. There is no second land as rich and colorful as Daxia. Butler Ji believes that Ji Qinggui's 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains, which Ji Qinggui has prepared for 2 months, will definitely get Gu Huiyan's attention. After all, Ji Qinggui is still less than 20 years old. With such a high artistic talent at this age, his peers can't compare at all. Not to mention, the 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains map is not something that ordinary people can think of. Without a little skill, you can't even draw. Even the highly respected master of Chinese painting that Ji's family invited for Ji Qinggui said that Ji Qinggui's painting of thousands of miles of rivers and mountains is unique. No matter how high Gu Huiyan's vision is, he will definitely be able to see it. Gu Huiyan's hand paused, and his eyes suddenly sharpened a bit. 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains. Yes, Miss has been working day and night for this picture, and her hands are full of needles. Butler Ji smiled. She hopes to listen to President Gu's advice and see what else can be improved. Gu Huiyan's hand tapped on the table. Okay, I'll take a look. The embroidered picture was unfolded, and it was 5 meters long. The purpose of entry is mountains and rivers, small bridges and flowing water. There is the chill of the border, but also the fireworks of ordinary people. In the lower left corner are embroidered the words Wanli Zhongshan and Ji Qinggui. Looking at the whole embroidered picture, it is indeed a first-class product. There is progress, great progress. Gu Huiyan's expression eased. When did she start embroidering? It started at the end of June. Steward Ji said hurriedly. The lady happily told the lady when she woke up that morning that she wanted to show everyone abroad to see the thousands of miles of rivers and mountains in Daxia. Well, good. Gu Huiyan nodded. There is nothing wrong with the idea. I will take a closer look and talk about the specific advantages and disadvantages. Butler Ji is very interesting. Then don't disturb President Gu, we will retire first. He left with 2 young men. The middle-aged man closed the door, feeling a little strange. President, why do you think it's such a coincidence? This time Miss G and Miss Si have embroidered a map of the rivers and mountains, and even the ideas are very similar. Hey, that's still incomparable. Speaking of SI fucking, Gu Huiyan smiled, you seem to have the same idea in the two pictures, but they are far from each other. What did SI girl say at that time? Let them see, my Daxia soul, in the whole world, show my Daxia prestige, and let all countries admire my Daxia name. At the end, Gu Huiyan was so excited, no one can compare with such a spirit. Middle-aged people think so. In comparison, the intention is indeed a lot worse. After a while, the door was knocked again, and Gu Huiyan immediately put Ji Qinggui's embroidered pictures behind him and stood up eagerly. Quick, it must be my courier. The middle-aged man hurried to open the door. This time, it was indeed the courier boy. The little brother walked in with great difficulty holding a box several meters high. Gu Huiyan took 3 steps and 2 steps, carefully took the box in the hand of the courier brother, and immediately brought it back to the desk to enjoy. The courier brother stopped him and quickly took out his mobile phone. Hello, this item is paid on delivery, and the total shipping fee is 92 yuan. Is it cash or QR code payment? Gu Huiyan. Middle-aged man. Miss Si, is she really that poor? Gu Huiyan glared at the middle-aged man. Hurry up and pay. The middle-aged man hurriedly took out his mobile phone. Gu Huiyan hurried back to the desk with the courier he had been waiting for all day, carefully took it out and spread it out. After unfolding it, Gu Huiyan's expression changed when he saw the embroidered picture for the first time. His hand slammed on the table, and his pupils shrank. This embroidery picture is also 5 meters long. It is the same as the one sent by the Ji family before. Even the division of many landscape terrains is not much different. He previously thought that the inspiration of 2 people just happened to collide, but there is no such thing. After all, the structure of the human brain is the same, and there are so many inspirations. But the inspiration can be the same, how can the pictures be the same? Gu Huiyan has indeed never seen such a resemblance. It can be said that it is almost the same embroidery. If it weren't for Si fucking's pair, Ji Qinggui's embroidery drawings would have really moved him. Before the age of 20, he independently completed a map of thousands of miles of rivers and mountains, which is remarkable. However, here is a second embroidery drawing. Some colors are obviously the same, but because of the different selection of silk threads, the texture is also different. Collision is not terrible, whoever is ugly is embarrassed. Especially when the 2 pictures are placed together, the contrast is too strong. One has both form and spirit, and the other has only form and no spirit. Gu Huiyan finally realized that when he looked at Ji Qinggui's embroidery before, he felt something was wrong. Like copying. Beauty is beauty without soul. Seeing the change in Gu Huiyan's expression, the middle-aged man said suspiciously, President. Could it be that Miss C's embroidery is so good that it scared Gu Huiyan? Gu Huiyan gradually returned to his senses, but his expression was unprecedentedly serious. You said last time that the second young lady of the Ji family has been raised by the Ji family in her boudoir because of her infirmity since childhood. It's true, the middle-aged man nodded. It seems that a monk said that Miss Ji was dying at an early age, so she couldn't show her face in public until she was 20 years old, so as to survive the catastrophe. The celebrity circle in 49 cities only heard Ji Qinggui's name, but didn't know what he looked like. But every major exhibition of calligraphy and painting has Ji Qinggui's name. Forjukan said that the Ji family raised a pair of good daughters. One piece of writing and one martial arts is enviable. That's really weird, Gu Huiyan sneered suddenly, a lady who doesn't go out of the gate. Even I don't have the strength to walk and watch the great rivers and mountains of my big summer. Where did the inspiration come from? The middle-aged man was stunned. Isn't there such a VR technology now? Can you watch it at home with glasses? You don't understand, Gu Huiyan said lightly. In some places, you have to go and experience it yourself in order to gain insight, And what's even more strange is that this embroidered picture of thousands of miles of rivers and mountains is actually the Great Xia dynasty, which can only be imagined through historical books. Even if Ji Qingwei also read history books thoroughly, can he still think the same as Si fucking? I understand what the president means, the middle-aged man suddenly realized. The president said that Miss Ji's embroidery was not done by her. The Ji family doesn't need to tell such a lie, it's just weird. Gu Huiyan shook his head. Even the poems are extremely gentle and easy, and that's why so many famous poems have been passed down through the ages. The talent of people is higher than that of Wen Changji. There are many famous people who have left a deep impression in the history of Daxia. Poetry is one of them. He wrote tens of thousands of poems in his lifetime, of which only over 1,000 have survived to this day. The middle-aged man frowned. Indeed. Send it back to Ji's family. Gu Huiyan put Ji Qingwei's embroidery aside. Indifferently, I thought it was good at first, but compared with Si Yadu, this pair of embroidery is empty without spiritual connotation, and it is too bad. It's far away, come and have a look. The middle-aged man took a closer look and looked shocked. President, Miss C's embroidery has an immersive feeling. If it is sent to the international arena, it will definitely overwhelm the heroes. That's it. Gu Huiyan stroked his beard, triumphantly. I don't even look at who it is. The middle-aged man scolded, that person is not your apprentice. Gu Huiyan reluctantly put away Si fucking's map of the country and sent her a message. Gu Huiyan, girl, I have received your 10,000 miles of rivers and mountains. It is perfect. I have packed it up and prepared to send it to you at the International Youth Culture Exhibition. Look up, the first place is definitely yours. Si fucking, is International Express expensive? Gu Huiyan, express delivery. No, it is absolutely impossible to express. What if I lose it? What if there is a collision during transportation? I booked a plane ticket and went to the Western continent in person. Gu Huiyan, by the way, I bought 2 tickets, your picture is worth a first class. Si fucking watched the news silently. So, only she is the poorest. Si fucking raised his head and said very seriously, I'm going to work hard to make money. Sang Yanking was quite puzzled. Didn't you always work hard to make money? And you said you love money, why did you propose to Director Tang to take the initiative to reduce the salary? That's not the same, we have to work harder. Si fucking moved his wrists. I will continue to eliminate harm for the people and earn bonuses. Sang Yanking. Probably Si fucking is the star who is the least like a star. Third senior sister Si fucking lowered his voice, how about I go to work for 0? Earn their money. Okay. Yujian was very interested, don't let the second child know, or he will die of anger. Second senior brother doesn't care about me, Si fucking lazily said, who let so many people monitor him, and Chief Zero didn't provoke him very much. Why doesn't he like others? After all, it's for performance. Yujian sighed, after being an assistant by your side, my quality of life has indeed declined, and I can't go out to eat and drink with the public funds of my teacher's section. In order to protect Si fucking, she chose to temporarily cut off the connection between the division and T18. Anyway, she has always been a maverick, a mystic. Missing is a common thing, but it saves a lot of trouble. Save money, our slogan is to save money. Si fucking pressed Yujian's shoulder. Don't you know that every time you go out with the second senior brother for public funds, the finance will hug my leg and cry? Yujian has no guilt, little junior sister, if you can't beat some things, you must join. Si fucking glanced at Xiaobai, who was lying on the ground basking in the sun, and said in a serious tone, you say, if I cut open its belly, can I get a bottomless treasure trove full of gold? Yujian raised his eyebrows, you can try. Xiaobai cried out with a wow and ran away quickly. The next day at noon, Ji's house. In order to let Ji Qingwei recuperate at ease, the Ji family bought the summer resort specially. MRSG is chatting with Yu Yao. Ayo, I'm really bothering you. MRSG smiled, we can't blow the air, and we can't go out for a walk. Thanks to you for coming to accompany her. You're welcome, Auntie, this is what I should do. Yu Yao also smiled, it's getting late, the company still has something to do, I'll go first. MRSG asked the servant to send Yu Yao out. She was going to the kitchen to prepare Ji Qinggui's lunch when Steward Ji came back. How is it, did Mr. Gu accept the map of the country? MRSG asked impatiently, did you say anything? Butler Ji frowned, I accepted it at first, but I don't know why, and it was later withdrawn. Rejected, MRSG was stunned and anxious, but isn't that embroidered picture even praised by Master Zhuang? How could it be returned? Butler Ji was also puzzled, ma'am, I don't quite understand President Gu's attitude. He clearly recognized Mrs. Embroidery Pictures at first, but within an hour, he said that Mrs. Embroidery Pictures are not good. Table, without soul. This review is too serious. What art needs is the soul. MRSG murmured, but I think it's good, where is there no soul? Butler Ji shook his head, Madam, I'm going to invite Master Zhuang over. Master Zhuang is a master of calligraphy and painting specially invited by Ji's family to Ji Qinggui. He is resident in Ji's house and is responsible for guiding Ji Qinggui. Ma'am, it's true that Gu Huiyan is the president of the Heaven and Earth Alliance, and his art is indeed very high after listening to Master Zhuang, but he belittles Miss Qinggui again and again, who can stand this? The president of the Heaven and Earth Alliance is not only him. 1. There is absolutely no problem with this pair of embroidery pictures. I also have a place in my hand, and I can send it directly to participate in the International Youth Culture Exhibition. MRSG's brows widened, okay, then I will trouble Master Zhuang. She was repeatedly rejected by Gu Huiyan, and she also felt resentment in her heart. Is it true that Daxia's famous teacher is the only one Gu Huiyan? Madam, it's not good. Ji Qinggui's personal maid suddenly ran over, looking flustered, Miss vomited blood. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 256. MRSG's expression changed greatly, what's going on? No, I don't know. The maid panicked, Miss is only weak during this time, and has never coughed up blood, but just now, she vomited a big mouthful of blood, and the doctor has gone. Ji Qing is weak and sickly, and may fall into a coma at any time. Ji's family also hired a dedicated team of doctors to prevent accidents. It's true that Ji Qinggui hasn't vomited blood for a long time, how could this happen suddenly? MRSG didn't care that Master Zhuang was still there, and immediately followed the maid to the inner room in a hurry. Master Zhuang was also startled and worried, Qinggui was startled today or what happened? Master Yu Yao will accompany Miss when he is free. Butler Ji was confused, there is no wind in the inner room, so it stands to reason that there is no stimulation. You still have to take good care of yourself. Master Zhuang sighed, I'm not in good health, the rest are just accessories. Butler Ji smiled bitterly, Master Yu Yao is also helping to find a doctor. I hope Miss can get well as soon as possible. The fact that Yu Yao was healed by Geshaoshan in Eternal is not a secret in Ji's family. It's not that the Ji family didn't want to let Ji Qinggui enter the holographic game, maybe he could also meet the ghost doctor, or the NPC of the medical department in the game. But it was bad because Ji Qinggui's body was so bad that he couldn't enter the game cabin at all. That Gu Huiyan doesn't know the goods, so he doesn't need him. Master Zhuang installed the embroidered picture. According to my speculation, Qinggui's map of thousands of miles of rivers and mountains will definitely win the leader. The entry age for the International Youth Culture Exhibition is limited to 16 to 22 years old. Master Zhuang has a discerning eye, and he clearly knows where the level of teenagers in this age group is. There are too few embroidery, and even fewer can come up with this idea. Ji Qinggui has won. And being able to teach such a gifted student will greatly improve his status. The suffocation that Steward Ji received from Gu Huiyan was finally swept away. I will send Master Zhuang off. Master Zhuang nodded. He left with embroidered pictures, and also booked a plane ticket to the Western continent. 2 days later, the editorial department of My Fair Lady. Come, Ching Tang Chiao smiled, these are the 3 sets of clothes you want to wear, and these are the antiques that you want to match with you. I specially gave you a few color pages. Take a good picture of your face. Trouble Sister Tang Si stepped forward, his expression changed. Is this the sword of the Xia dynasty general? In addition to the sword, there is also a vase and a jewelry box. Yeah, it's really not easy to borrow, Tang Chiao said. I have to return it tomorrow after filming. These are all treasures in the Tiandi Alliance Museum. Si Fu nodded and entered the dressing room with the makeup artist and stylist. Shooting went well. Tang Chiao couldn't help but marvel, Yanqing, your artist is really born for the camera. I have seen many international supermodels and actresses, but I have never seen an artist who can control the camera like yours. Don't praise her, Sang Yanqing had a headache. If you praise her again, she will float away. Who is floating? Si walked over from behind the curtain, still holding the sword. I'm obviously very low-key. Sang Yanqing was expressionless. I won't expose you. Do you want to be someone else's father at every turn, yet keep a low profile? Very good, we ended early today. Tang Chiao glanced at the time. Let's have a meal together, I'll treat you. The editorial staff cheered. Sister Tang is a rare treat, so she must be blackmailed. It's all thanks to Miss Tosi. Miss Si is not as big as other celebrities, that Tong Luyun last time. SHH. Stop talking, Sister Sang is here. The employee who spoke fell silent in time, looked at Sang Yanqing cautiously, but found that she had no expression. Ching, I signed up for you, Sang Yanqing asked, where's your embroidery? Si raised his head, it's already been given away. Then you can draw whatever you want, Sang Yanqing said. If you sign up for a work, remember, it's all you want. I'll give you a brush and rice paper. Si rolled up his sleeves, okay. She adjusted a few colors, studied the ink again, and then began to draw casually. She drew casually, and answered a phone call with her other hand. It is Ancient Bamboo. Hey, Alan Gu Wenzu said, Calvin and Xiaozhou you wanted to contact a while ago, their schedules are all vacant, and now they have gone to Daxia. You need to introduce the address and give me all the contact information. I will send it to them, and they will be there in the afternoon. Si put down his pen and sent Yuan Heping's message, surprised. Why did the two of them come together? Aren't they old enemies? Calvin and Xiaozhou are both internationally acclaimed directors. One of the best action sci-fi movies. The films of the two are always released at the same time, and every time they fight to the death. We will only come together when we are old and dead. Gu Wenzu was helpless. Next year, they will fight for who is the first person in the action sci-fi movie. Si Same as T18 and 0. Contact me if you have anything else to do, Gu Wenzu added. I've been very busy recently, and I have nothing to do. If you don't call me, I'm not feeling well. That's it. Si was expressionless, because I drew 7 sets of design drawings for you. Who made you the right hand of God? Gu Wenzu said slowly, those who are capable work hard. Si After a few seconds, she said slowly, teacher, please don't say the name of this middle school so bluntly again. She felt ashamed. After the call, Si added 2 strokes on the rice paper. Sister Sang, I'm done. Sang Yanqing came over, and after seeing the painting on the table, he said faintly, Didn't I let you paint casually? I fucking glanced at it, it's just a painting. Sang yanking. Are the two of them slightly different? I fucking added, I'm really perfunctory. If my teacher sees him, he will beat me. It's done. Sang yanking was very tired. I'll give you a work, you can have a meal with them. I fucking made an okay gesture. At the same time, Daxiatai also announced the shooting plan of the birth of a staff online. Netizens are looking forward to it. After all, 66 days of survival adds up to only 6 episodes of 24 hours, which is simply not enough to watch. Kneeling and begging for more quality variety shows like 66 Days of Survival in Daxiatai. Trouble. Other TV stations learn from it. You don't need to hire a big name, you can hire someone who can do it. Indeed, I originally went to see 66 Days of Survival for Sujiani, and his appearance really pokes me, and there are not many niche students who can match his ancient costumes, but in variety shows, how should I put it, no memory points either. With I fucking next to him, I almost forgot his face, so disappointed. I can't help thinking about how Sujianian became the top. Is he just by face? In front of I fucking, there are still people in the entertainment industry who can use their face as an advantage. Sujianian's team did not expect that the variety show 66 Days of Survival not only failed to increase his popularity, but also caused his traffic to decline. Many netizens are saying that his top notch is in name only. Sujianian's agent was very angry. Look, she has just started in the entertainment industry, and she can't wait to step on you. Sang yanking is really not a fuel-efficient lamp. He doesn't believe this is the opinion of netizens. It must be Sang yanking who bought the Navy and wanted to pave the way for I fucking to take advantage of Sujianian's popularity. Sujianian sighed, it's true that I didn't perform well, and I'm not suitable for variety shows, so let's film with peace of mind. You can do it with peace of mind. I can't let her just pull and step on you like this, the agent sneered. If she wants to be on the hot search, then send it to her. With a big wave of his hand, the agent also launched a marketing account and a water army, directly intercepting the clip that I fucking said he would introduce resources to UN Hepping at that time, and posted it on Weibo. Soon, the entry hashtag Saifuching introduced resources to UN Hepping hashtag became a hot search. Saifu is overwhelmed, introduce resources to UN Hepping, an actor? UN Hepping has received 3 golds, and everyone is worried that there are no resources to go to the next level. What can I fucking introduce? This big talk is too big to even think about it. This is all arrogance. Fake it, casually talk about it, I will too. Netizens were discussing, and after a while, the party's Weibo appeared under the hot search. At V, my daughter has already given me the resources, and it will be here today. It's not a lie. Also, no matter what resources my daughter gives me, I like it very much. Don't make rumors, we have a good relationship. UN Hepping said this, and other netizens who were watching the excitement also dispersed. One is willing to fight and the other is willing to suffer, and it has nothing to do with them. Yeah, introducing resources is a matter of heart. Why is it so utilitarian? So coincidentally, the resources arrived today, I do not believe. This hot search is I fucking's own hype, a good way. UN Hepping was at home at this time having dinner with the director of Looking for the Orphan. He shook his head, oh, I'm really old, those public opinion disputes on the internet are really annoying. If it wasn't to clarify for I fucking, he wouldn't even be on Weibo. MSSI is indeed very attentive, the director joked, brother UN, you have to act the movie resources that they introduce to you with great difficulty, no matter what it is. There are a lot of white-eyed wolves now. The entertainment industry is a place that only values profit. The director is used to seeing how many friends turn against each other in front of resources. Of course UN Hepping smiled, no junior has introduced me to resources yet, I will definitely accept it. She's acting is really good. The director lit a cigarette, Oh, I don't know if I can help the Lee family find a child after the movie is released. The reason why I chose the Lunar New Year stall is because of the large flow of people in the cinema at this time. I didn't introduce you to the wrong person, did I? Yuen Hepping was in a good mood. I'm optimistic about her, and she will definitely become popular internationally. The two chatted and drank. Outside the villa, a car parked behind a bush. Boss, do you think we can really squat on the headlines? The paparazzi probed. I guess it was Yuen Hepping who helped Sci-fucking on Weibo. Where are the resources coming today? Who knows? Squat first. The paparazzi boss was holding a cigarette. It doesn't matter if you can't squat, isn't it over if you just post the news and say it's fake? The paparazzi admired very much. The boss is still smart. The three paparazzi waited in the car until the sun was setting. The two paparazzi were also about to fall asleep when they were suddenly woken up again. Quick, quick, someone is knocking on Yuen Hepping's door. The paparazzi boss set up the camera excitedly. Let's see who he is going to meet. Is it the person Sci-fucking introduced to him? The two paparazzi also quickly picked up the binoculars and camera equipment. There are trees blocking it, so I can't see clearly, but looking at the color of that hair, isn't it a foreigner? Quick, let's get out of the car and find a place to hide. The paparazzi boss opened the car door first. You two keep up, don't get caught. Sci-fucking, as the top of the current female idols, is the target of entertainment reporters. However, after being with them for so long, they didn't capture the slightest bit of Sci-fucking's private life, which was quite strange. Although Sci-fucking couldn't be photographed this time, but the resources she introduced to Yuen Hepping can be photographed, and the performance can be completed. Yuen Hepping also knew that the director introduced by Sci-fucking would come to him this afternoon, and immediately got up and went to the entrance when he heard the knock on the door. The director followed behind him. I'm really curious, who did Miss S.I. introduce to you? Okay, don't be curious, I know you want to see it. Yuen Hepping was annoyed. I didn't drive you away. The director scratched his head in embarrassment. With that said, Yuen Hepping opened the door. At the door are two Westerners, one on the left and one on the right. Plus more. Wow! Vigorously ask for a monthly pass. When there are 1,000 votes, we will continue to add more. Forewarning, there are badges, postcards, colored paper, laser tickets, keychains, and several practical peripherals. There are monthly tickets, fan list, and lottery to grab buildings. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 257. The two seemed to have just finished a fight, and their hair was caught into a chicken coop. Standing opposite each other, they all stared at each other vigilantly, looking at the posture as if they were going to fight again. Yuen Hepping was a little stunned. The two of you are. As soon as he made a sound, the two foreigners turned their heads. Their faces were also covered with ashes, and their tie shirts were even more baggy. The director's pupils suddenly dilated, and he blurted out, Mr. Calvin? Mr. Xiaozo. A truly internationally renowned director can count two slaps. Chu Lingyuan of the Great Xia Empire, Rhodes of the Western Continent, and Calvin and Xiaozo. Action sci-fi movies are not easy to shoot, and it is easy to shoot too exaggerated. But Calvin and Xiaozo have a good grasp of the degree of science fiction. When two giants are competing in a field, the field develops more rapidly. Although the director is not a sci-fi film, he still knows several internationally renowned directors. This is the image. Yuen Hepping's expression changed, and he carefully looked at the disgraced two people, and his pupils shrank violently. He loves watching action sci-fi movies. He was also impressed by the names Calvin and Xiaozo. After all, the Sci-Fi Film Awards in recent years are in the hands of these two directors. When Yuen Hepping went to Glen, he was fortunate enough to see these two people from a distance. At that time, he was all in suits and leather shoes, and he really didn't recognize it at the first time. But who can tell him why Calvin and Xiaozhou came to him? With a pop, Yuan Heping shattered. The director on the side is not much better. Hello, Mr. Yuan, I'm Calvin. Calvin glared at Xiaozhou before saying to Yuan Heping, would you mind giving me a segment on the spot? Dance with a gun, anything is fine, I want to see your true power. Xiaozhou snorted coldly, why did they come for you? Why is your face so big? Seeing that the two big directors were about to quarrel again, Yuan Heping hurriedly said, no problem, the two of you, please, do you want to wash up first? No need, Calvin said carelessly, it is estimated that he will have to fight in a while, and it will be a waste of time to wash it. Yuan Heping. Director. It seems that there are international rumors that the two do not deal with each other, which is really true. Yuan Heping's home placed a lot of weapons. He has filmed dramas of all eras, and he also works out all the year round and has muscles. So even if he is in his early 60s, his body is stronger than many young people. Yuan Heping went to the weapon rack and took a sword, then I'll just play it casually and make the two of you laugh. He exhaled, and this started. The director is very relieved about Yuan Heping's business ability, but he is very relaxed at the moment. Xiaozhou also stared at Yuan Heping closely, confirming that there are no special effects and via and other equipment, just relying on physical fitness. Calvin even exclaimed, Daxia Kung Fu. This is Daxia Kung Fu. It's flying. Director. Ah. What about international directors? It's not that they haven't seen the world yet. That's Mr. Yuan, I've read your resume, and I think your image is very suitable for the male protagonist of my next film. Calvin stepped forward and spoke first. My next film is a time travel film. When an old male protagonist meets a young male protagonist, it is always difficult for us to win the Grameen Award for action films, but the International Best Actor can definitely. You and me, I promise to make you the next international actor. Yuan Heping was stunned, he snorted twice, but before he could say anything in detail, Xiaozhou held his shoulder again, Mr. Yuan, don't listen to his nonsense, you must come to shoot my movie. The next movie is Star Wars, and there are more big scenes than his movies. You are so good, you should show more to the audience, and I can guarantee that you will become the next international actor. Of course, they can see that Yuan Heping is not a boxer, but has real kung fu. That's exactly what an action sci-fi movie needs. It's just because international directors haven't paid much attention to the Great Xia Empire, and they don't lack actors. But Calvin and Xiaozhou are both looking for a breakthrough. Yuan Heping just met their requirements for actors, otherwise they would not come even if Gu Wenzi recommended it. I have to think about it. Yuan Heping was stupid, he was 60 years old and stammered, I haven't thought about it yet, Think slowly, don't worry. Calvin took out a business card from his pocket and stuffed it into Yuan Heping's hand, I live in the city center. Not to be outdone, Xiaozhou also stuffed a business card. I warn you, don't steal people from me. Calvin, you can shoot Star Wars in your 20s or 30s. Then you can use it too. Xiaozhou didn't give in, are you trying to fight? Calvin got angry and rolled up his sleeves, fight, whoever is afraid. The director stepped forward in time, to pay attention to the image. It's okay, there aren't many people who recognize us here. Calvin geared up, go out and fight. Xiaozhou snorted coldly, just go out. The two just left. Director. Fortunately, he doesn't make action movies, which are so reeling that even the director has to be good at it. He closed the door and raised his head tremblingly, Brother Yuan, pinch me? Let me see if I am dreaming. Yuan Heping fell on the sofa and muttered, I still want someone to wake me up. Although he is already a domestic top 3 gold actor, his status is very stable, but he is too far from the ranks of international first-line actors. Who would have thought that one day Xiaozhou and Calvin would rob him? Brother, you have developed The director pinched himself desperately and jumped up excitedly. No matter who you are with, even if you can't win the International Best Actor, the International will know you. Calvin and Xiaozo, just like Chu Lingyun and Rhodes, are golden signs, and they themselves have box office appeal. How could Yuen Heping not know that he dialed Sci-Fucking's phone with trembling fingers? As soon as it was connected, he couldn't wait to speak. Fucking, you are just. Mr. Yuen saw them, Sci-Fucking said lazily, didn't we fight? Yuen Heping, they should have fought several times. After he finished speaking, he reacted suddenly, Fu Qing, you know the two directors Calvin and Xiaozo? Why don't you shoot it yourself? These days, whoever has resources must hold them tightly in their hands. I don't know, Sci-Fucking said calmly, I sent your resume, Mr. Yuen, to their mailbox. It was Mr. Yuen, whose ability was so strong, that they were attracted to you. Yuen Heping fell silent. He always felt that there was something wrong with this sentence, but it was very reasonable. Finally, he grabbed a point, how do you know their mailbox? The private mailboxes of such international directors are not open to the public. Sci-Fucking paused, yeah, how did I know? Yuen Heping knew that she was playing sloppy eyes, so he didn't ask again, fucking, I must thank you. You said, I will help you if you have anything to do. I'll treat you to a meal, right? I'll definitely find you when I'm busy. Sci-Fucking smiled, I'm going back to Bizhu, so I don't need to invite you to dinner. Yuen Heping knew that she was going to Bizhu to film. Well. There are really not many people like Miss Si. The director breathed a sigh of relief. You help her, and she will help you too. Yuen Heping wiped his sweat. It's not just helping me, it's saving me. I don't know what to do now. He had been looking for a breakthrough for so long, and suddenly got a chance to soar. Yuen Heping clapped his hands and was very regretful. I knew I wouldn't recommend her to you. I should look for someone who is better than you. You are simply not enough. Director. Let's go, I'm in a good mood today, I'll treat you. Yuen Heping swiftly changed his clothes, it's open to eat. Outside the villa. The three paparazzi have also taken pictures and are looking back. Who are these two foreigners? The paparazzi was very puzzled. They are dressed like dogs, and this grey-faced person looks like a beggar. He came to our Daxia to beg. Is this the resource that Sci-Fucking introduced to Yuen Heping? What's the difference between telling a lie and telling a lie? It doesn't matter, we got it anyway. The paparazzi took the camera away. Go back and give the photo to the news department so they can watch it. Today's performance is finally complete. As for whether Sci-Fucking was hacked or something, it had nothing to do with them. Daxiatai here. Sang Yanking handed over Sci-Fucking's painting. The staff also knew her and greeted her with a smile, Sister Sang. Sang Yanking nodded, which of the three sections has more people? It must be the art section, the staff said, after all, medical skills and legal affairs are difficult. This is painting. Anyone who has done graffiti when they were young is easy to start. Sang Yanking nodded. After leaving Daxiatai, she followed the nanny car to the editorial department of My Fair Lady to pick up Sci-Fucking. I asked just now, there are quite a lot of people who signed up. Sang Yanking sighed, I'm really afraid you won't be selected. Then go to medicine. Sci-Fucking stretched out, you must get the salary. Sang Yanking raised his head sharply, medicine? Are you serious? Although the guests will enter as interns, they must understand a little bit of the basics of medicine, otherwise they will not understand. Sci-Fucking touched his chin, anyway, it's not as casual as painting. Sang Yanking recalled the so-called casual painting, what else do you know? Tsukimi said slowly, she can't cook, but she can blow up the kitchen. Sci-Fucking. Prepare to pack up and go back to Bizhu. Sang Yanking returned to his senses, it just so happens that my home is also in Bizhu, so it's convenient for you to settle there. Sang Yanking never mentioned her family much, at most she said she was coming back after divorce. Si fucking didn't ask deeper. Okay, I'll go back and check my brother's homework. At this time, North Yejenmian's restaurant has been renovated, and it is located in the commercial street opposite Bizhu No. 1 Middle School. So today, after the school year, Yian didn't go to the cafe with Lin Jiwan again. After saying hello to Yejenmian, she brought Lin Jiwan to the restaurant. Wow, my dream since I was a child was to open a restaurant at home. Lin Jiwan widened his eyes. That way, there will be more than enough to eat. Nian Yian asked casually, huh? What does your family do? Lin Jiwan sighed. My dad said yesterday that he would take me back to Sijukan after selling the house. Nian Yian's expression was complicated. That's a bit miserable. By the way, I'll tell you, I've met my idol. Lin Jiwan held her face, she even hugged me and touched my head. Woo woo woo, she is so beautiful in person already. Nian Yian. Why isn't he treated like this? He is not only a fan, but also his own brother. He absolutely cannot lose this game. Nian Yi settled down, at the same table. In fact, she is. Before the words were finished, Lin Jiwan stood up abruptly and slammed the table. There are always people jealous of my idol, so I will tell my dad to let him sell a few more sweets to support the magazine sales in September. Nian Yian. Wait, what Lin Jiwan said about selling the house was because her family was engaged in real estate. Nian Yian also started contacting the entertainment industry because of Si fucking. He leaned over and said, what happened? In that variety show at that time, Ching Ching said that he wanted to introduce resources to Yuaningdi. Lin Jiwan was very angry. I don't know who made a big fuss about it, and the marketing account said that Ching Ching introduced Yuaningdi to be a beggar. Nian Yian saw the content of Weibo. At Daily Eat Melon V, this is the resource that Si fucking introduced to Yuanyingdi. How about everyone? The accompanying picture is quite high definition. It is two foreigners, with disgraced faces, like rolling in the mud, and the image is very bad. Someone bought the hot search, and there are many comments below. That's it? That's it? Is this the resource that Si fucking introduced? Where are the beggars caught? Yuan Heping stopped talking, and it seems that he is also cold. I also introduced foreign beggars. Si fucking is really good enough. Nian Yian frowned and looked down. Many comments are saying that Si fucking is floating and doesn't know how to respect the seniors. Until a film critic reposted this Weibo. This movie critic V has always been sharp, and many movies have been scolded by him, so he directly scolded him this time. Served, a bunch of idiots, what foreign beggars, this is Calvin and Xiaozo, action sci-fi film, they are gods. If you don't recognize them, forget it, you can't call them a beggar, right? Good morning. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 258. The cake of action sci-fi movies is so big that many directors want to share it, but they can't compare to Calvin and Xiaozo. Although the two are extremely incompatible, they will sincerely praise each other's movies when they are interviewed in public. Both enemy and friend. Sci-fi fans also know that Calvin and Xiaozo have always strived for perfection, and they will personally visit for a scene in the movie. It's been 3 years since Calvin's last sci-fi movie was on a planet with nothing but seas. For this reason, he bought diving equipment and went to the sea to investigate for half a year before he began to construct various alien creatures in the movie. The two have a rigorous work attitude, and they have made several classic sci-fi movies, which are deeply loved by sci-fi movie fans. Movie critic Devi is an old sci-fi fan, and he didn't dare to recognize it at first. After all, the images of the two foreigners in the photo are not very good. He also posted a question on a film exchange forum. After several confirmations, the two beggars were Calvin and Xiaozo. The film critic V has no understanding of Si fucking, at most they have heard the name, and there is no need to clarify it for Sci-fucking. He also has 5 million fans, and his influence is not small. I'll go, don't scare me. The clothing designer jumped out and said silently, although they have a bad image, the suits they wear are all high-end custom, with a strong sense of design. They say that beggars are too much. If they were beggars, I would be much worse than beggars. It is indeed Calvin and Xiaozo, I have a comparison chart here. And many more. That is to say, Sci-fucking introduced 2 internationally renowned directors to Yuan Yingdi. The reversal of things was too fast, and both netizens who were watching melon eating and fans of Yuan Heping were stunned. In fact, there is no need to put this matter on the line, and netizens who eat melons will just take a look at it. It was the marketing account and the Navy dispatched by Su Jianian's agent who really caught on. But this time, it exploded. Yuan Heping's fans have always been Buddhist. In 66 Days to Survive, Sci-fucking has always taken good care of Yuan Heping, and fans also like her very much. They also thought that Sci-fucking was polite and polite. Who would have thought that her so-called introduction resource was an international director? Fans all know that Yuan Heping has been seeking breakthroughs for 4 or 5 years. He has reached the peak domestically, and he is a 3-gold actor and can only enter the international market. However, it is very difficult for Daxia people to squeeze into the international market, and the strength of the network is indispensable. Yuan Heping has strength, but lacks an opportunity. No one expected that Sci-fucking put this opportunity in front of Yuan Heping, not for the director to choose the person, but for him to choose the director. This time, the ID that was still making beggar comments quickly disappeared. Many netizens flocked to Sci-fucking's Weibo and began to say that she was awesome, and wanted her to explain how Calvin and Xiaozo were invited. At V, I'm not talented, so I gave Mr. Yuan's resume to the team of the 2 directors. I didn't expect Mr. Yuan to be seen. Mr. Yuan is really amazing. Please Mr. Yuan, blind the eyes of foreigners and let them know that you are the successor of Daxia Kung Fu. Yuan Heping returned an ellipsis below. Netizens were also silent. This is no longer a koi carp, this is a carp leaping from the dragon gate to become a dragon. Can you do this? What luck. Don't talk, everyone, we worship koi today, and fans don't brag, let us passers-by first. Let's not say anything else. Sci-fucking is really too aggressive. How could someone else give up the resources? It should be like what she said. Yuan Yingdi's martial arts scenes are much better than those of foreigners, and only those who have strength are attracted to them. As a result, the mooses watched helplessly as Sci-fucking's fans rose again. Not to mention their charge, the Sci-fi fans directly rushed the marketing account. Su Jianian's agent never expected this result. He just felt incredible, and his face was even more painful. Is this okay? As long as the resources introduced by Sci-fucking are ordinary, he has the means to make a big fuss. But there are 2 international directors, how is this black? I always feel that something is not right. Su Jianian frowned. No matter how lucky she is, it is impossible for her to have an RM before and an internationally renowned director later. Don't you think it's too coincidental? Isn't that good luck? The agent looked annoyed. Could it be that she really knows President RM and an internationally renowned director? If she really knows her, she is still in the entertainment industry. President RM is ranked in the top 10 of the world's richest people. Su Jianian sighed, what you said also makes sense. Forget it, as long as her team doesn't want to rub off on you, I'll ignore them. The agent frowned. When she shoots the drama, there will be more drafts, and I don't know who it is by then. It was unfortunate that she was swept away by her. The other side. Sang Yanking also found out who posted the video. Her tone was cold. It didn't affect our artists, but I remember this account. They stared at us, and we stared at them to see who played. Who passed? Which one in the entertainment circle is not a human being? She didn't believe that Su Jianian had no black material. Yes, Yu Sang Yanking hung up the phone and walked to Si fucking, even Calvin and Xiaozo can be invited, I really want to re-evaluate you. I didn't invite it. Si fucking looked at the computer and didn't look up. Didn't I say that I sent an email, and the blind cat ran into the dead mouse. Okay, it's okay if you lie to outsiders. Sang Yanking exposed her mercilessly, tell me honestly. Si fucking raised his eyebrows, not in a hurry, it's like this, I was exercising in the park that day, and I met two directors, Calvin and Xiaozo. It happened that I was practicing boxing at the time, and they fell in love with me. I just said that teacher Yuan taught me the set of boxing skills. He is even more powerful. You can ask him to make a movie. Sang Yanking. Although she felt that this rhetoric was a bit wrong, with the personalities of both parties, such a thing could really happen. After taking 2 steps, Sang Yanking finally realized that something was wrong. Why did Calvin and Xiaozo suddenly come to Daxia? She turned back, her eyes narrowed. That's right, Si fucking calmly said, Sister Sang, let Sister Tang send out the cover notice. Sang Yanking was stunned, at this time? It's too late for the announcement. Isn't my enthusiasm on the rise right now, Si fucking said lazily, let's save a fortune by sending a notice at this time. Sang Yanking, as expected of you. Money saver. But this advice is really good. Sang Yanking immediately contacted Tang Chiao. Soon, My Fair Lady also released the cover notice of the September issue on Weibo. At V, #September cover #Yiyi's Haikyuu, Jin Fenjiolo meet each other, in this autumn, let us follow her through the millennium, dialogue with ancient cultural relics, and inherit Daxia culture at Saifu Qing. Below is a live video. Only 10 seconds. The beginning is a special effect of turning over a history book, the sound of rice paper, which instantly pulls people from the prosperous city into the prosperous summer of 1,000 years ago. Swords, utensils, beauties. After a long time, I finally see the chapter of the big summer. The video did not show Si fucking's full body photo, only the top half of his face. Even if it's just the eyebrows, raising the eyebrows and closing the eyebrows, they are still breathtakingly beautiful. Killing crazy. It's so beautiful, I must buy a few more copies as souvenirs. Looking forward to the first magazine cover and inner page blockbuster. Even if everyone stops me, I will shout out this sentence, Si fucking, Yandian. Buying a copy and keeping it at home is not an exaggeration, right, this is koi. Sure enough, as soon as the trailer came out, it quickly topped the top 5 on the entertainment list. Lin Jiwan immediately became annoyed, and quickly ran to the official website of My Fair Lady to make an appointment. After the appointment was over, she remembered that there was someone sitting next to her. What did you say just now? Nian Yian sighed, nothing, I just want to ask you how to do this question. Can you do this question wrong? Lin Jiwan took it and took a look. When I finish, you will have to do 10 similar questions. Nian Yian. What the hell did he do? Night. In the villa. As soon as Miss C's magazine announcement came out, all parties responded very favorably. Feng San reported, the official website has opened magazine reservations, and their front desk has not released the data. Just now, Kenyan went to the back office to check, and there are currently 3 reservations. 100,000. In just a few hours, there have been 300,000 reservations, and the appeal is indeed terrifying. Yu Zian nodded slightly, but his eyes fell on the coffee table. Feng San also looked over and was stunned, is this Miss C's book? Did she fall? Si fucking habitually buys 2 books, one for annotation and one for collection. It's the same The Legend of Emperor Yin. There is a line of words on the title page. Not long after this line was written, the ink was still very new. May he see the prosperous summer in his lifetime. Yu Zian paused and fell silent after seeing these words. Feng San couldn't fathom the man's attitude and didn't dare to speak. After a long while, Yu Xian withdrew her gaze and said in a warm voice, "She's going back to Bizhu tomorrow." Yes, Feng San flipped through the schedule. At the end of the month, Bizhu number 1 middle school will start school. Miss Si will join the group to film after reporting. Yeah, Yu Xian said lightly, "We also go to Bizhu." Understood. Feng San instantly understood. "I'll notify Team 0 and let them get ready." Early the next morning, San Yanqing was packing her luggage when she received a call from Tang Chiao. She only heard one sentence, and her expression changed. "Lost? When?" "Well, I'll go over there." After the call ended, San Yanqing quickly contacted Si fucking again. "Ching ching, something happened. The editorial department stole it last night, and the 3 antiques you photographed are gone." Si fucking paused. "Is it because of the trailer? Someone noticed antique?" "It should be." Sang Yanqing frowned. "I didn't expect that. If the antique is lost now, the Heaven and Earth Alliance will definitely not let it go. I have to go over and ask first." Si fucking said slowly, "Sister Sang, let me go with you, maybe I can help." When the two came to the editorial office, Tang Chiao was being reprimanded by a young man. Her face flushed red. "What did you say at the beginning?" the young man said coldly. "You said that you will definitely be optimistic about antiques, just to promote traditional culture, but now, antiques have been lost in your hands. What do you think? Are you guarding yourselves? Take it out and sell it? Those 3 antiques are all worth more than 1 million. Although it is not the most valuable in the TND Alliance Museum, it is very rare because it is only one piece." An editor couldn't listen anymore. "Sister Tang is not that kind of person." "Then where did you go?" the young man sneered. "The museum has equipped every antique with a tracking sensor. She is the only one of you who knows about this. How come the tracking sensor has no signal? Which thief is so careful?" Tang Chiao did know that she was speechless. "Mr. Chiao, Okay, don't talk about it." Chiao Qingshi raised his hand. He said indifferently, "It's easy to say if the antique is found. If you can't find it, just wait and join the law enforcement team." He didn't bother to talk nonsense with Tang Chiao anymore, and started to contact the technicians of TND Alliance and the law enforcement team of Sijukan. Antiques are often stolen, and TND Alliance has many countermeasures. But this time now they can't connect to the sensor at all, which proves that the thief used a signal jammer. "You mean, each antique has a special sensor?" Si fucking said. "It's just that the signal is blocked, and the sensor is not faulty, right?" Yes, Jiao Qingshi was so irritated. "Of course there will be tracking sensors, so you can rest assured when you hand over the antiques. What can you understand?" As soon as he said these words, the expressions of the staff in the editorial department changed. "That's easy to handle." Si fucking nodded. "As long as the signal shielding is lifted, the antiques can be found through the tracker." Jiao Qingshi took a deep breath and stopped. He does know Si fucking, after all, this face is quite famous. But he has never really looked down on these people in the entertainment industry. "With a high salary, I still want to take advantage of history, but I don't cherish antiques, and I have no culture, and I don't know anything about cultural relics." Jiao Qingshi laughed angrily. "It's easy to do. Just remove the signal shield." "How can you remove it?" "If it weren't for Si fucking taking some magazine covers, the antiques would not have been loaned out." Si fucking put down his backpack and took out his computer, his eyes still languid. "Yes, I can. See you tomorrow." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 259. For a while, the entire editorial department fell silent. Everyone looked at Sci-fi, dumbfounded and sarcastic. There are still highly educated stars in the entertainment industry, but they have nothing to do with computer technology. What's more, Qiao Qingshi's team was also full of technicians, and they were unable to locate the three antiques. Sci-fi, a star, said he could do it. Today's stars can really talk big. Thinking that there are so many fans holding it, who will hold it? Sang Yanking was the first to react. She remembered the characters she saw on Sci-Fi's computer at that time, and said subconsciously, "You know how to program." Programming, Qiao Qingshi couldn't hold back his anger. ABC or 123. Don't make trouble if you don't understand, and you, Ms. Tang, you can't leave this place until the antique is found. After he finished speaking, he hurriedly left with the team, without looking at Sci-Fi again. Sang Yanking didn't have time to say anything to Qiao Qingshi. She comforted Tang Qiao, Qiao, don't worry, the antique will definitely be found. So what happened yesterday? I came to the editorial department at 8 in the morning and found that the safe had been pried open. Tang Qiao's eyes were still red, the three antiques in it were gone, and only a few figures were seen in the surveillance, and they were very disguised. Well, even men and women can't tell the difference. The surveillance on the way to adjust and found that nothing was photographed. They should have avoided it and only walked to the blind spot that the surveillance could not photograph. It's been a few hours, and this long time is enough for the antiques to be sent to the outside of Siju City. Sister Tang, don't worry, Sci-Fi had already turned on the computer. You borrowed antiques to shoot the cover for me, and I will definitely not let you be taken away by the law enforcement team. Yeah, Qiao, our Ching Ching is really good, Sang Yanking also said. She really knows how to program. Tang Qiao smiled bitterly, but those programmers just couldn't find a way. The editorial department is quite quiet, only the sound of keyboard tapping can be heard. Yuejian put a hand on Sci-Fi's shoulder, flipped his hair again, and smiled. You should tell her that you built the firewall of T18. If you ask where in the world the most secure system is the strongest, 0 and T18 are firmly at the top of the list. After all, it is a specialized intelligence organization. Sci-Fi's expression was sloppy. Sister Sang will say that I'm joking again. Yujian shrugged. That's a pity, no one believes the truth these days. Before a minute had passed, a progress bar popped up on the computer screen, and it quickly reached 100%. I found it. Sci-Fi pressed the enter key. I haven't left Sijukan yet. I'm at the ferry port. I think I'm going to sneak out. Tang Qiao was stunned for a while, then raised her head sharply. Look, found it? Sang Yanking was also a little confused. The difference between programming and finding antiques is not that big. Yes, I fucking pressed a phone number. Shang Lu, I'll send you the coordinates. There are 3 antiques from the Heaven and Earth Alliance there. You should bring people over there and you should be able to gain a lot. She is also very caring as a boss, delivering performance to her employees every day. When Shang Lu heard this, he went out quickly. Okay, I'll take someone over here. Let's wait. Sci-Fi put down his phone. They move very fast. Sister Tang, you can have lunch smoothly. Tang Qiao's brain has entered a shutdown state, and she will only nod her head. Qian Junmen's actions were indeed fast. Within an hour, Shang Lu called. Miss Si, is a gang that steals cultural relics all the year round. He was very angry. According to their account, they bought the signal jammer from the Western continent, and they are going to buy the Western continent for stealing antiques. It's not the first time they've done this. They made tens of millions. You guessed it right. It was because they saw the magazine trailer and found those 3 antiques, so they acted immediately at night. Okay, you can send it to the TND Alliance. Sci-Fi said lightly. I don't trust their ability. You let the Qinjun Alliance deliver it in person. Shang Lu agreed, no problem. At the end of the call, Si fucking turned his head. Sister Tang, I have someone send the antiques directly to the TND Alliance. It was done by a gang that sells cultural relics, and it has nothing to do with you. Tang Qiao finally recovered. She hurriedly stood up and kept bowing. Miss Si, thank you very much. She is ready to enter the law enforcement team. If it wasn't for Si fucking's help, Tang Qiao couldn't imagine what would happen next. She wiped away her tears and looked solemn. Miss Si, I can't do anything, I can only guarantee that you will have no shortage of fashion resources in Daxia in the future. Ching ching, you've saved a fortune. Sang Yanking smiled. In the future, I will borrow dresses for events, and Qiao Qiao will definitely help you. My fair lady has cooperated with many brands, and Tang Qiao is the editor-in-chief, so she still has the right to speak. Si fucking didn't refuse. Then thank Sister Tang for saving me money. Okay, are you going to fly to Bizhu today? Tang Qiao also smiled. I won't bother you anymore. After the antiques are in the hands of the TND Alliance, I will report your safety. Sang Yanking nodded. Well, take care of yourself. The three go out. Sang Yanking suddenly turned his head and stared at Si fucking. You don't belong to any intelligence organization, and you came to the entertainment industry just to hide your identity as an agent. Si fucking took it easy. Do you see what my face looks like? Sang Yanking failed for a second. Okay. With such a face, if he really does intelligence work, he will definitely be recognized at once. Yu Jian raised her eyebrows and said slowly, you should tell her that we are recruiting people based on face. Don't scare Sister Sang anymore. Si fucking sighed. Let's go. After returning, Si fucking put the large and small bags into the car and prepared to fly to Angkan in Bizhu. You're not going to the airport? Sang Yanking was puzzled. Could it be that you want to take the high-speed train? That's too far. The boss has a private jet. Si fucking said in a relaxed tone. I can save a ticket. Sang Yanking, you should take care of the finances. Then I'll go first. Si fucking waved his hand. You, don't scare Sister Sang. Yumi nodded seriously. I will try my best. Sang Yanking. Why is this assistant also arrogant? How could she be frightened? She's been frightened enough these days. So the troops split up. Sang Yanking and Yuejian flew away, and Si fucking boarded Yu Xian's private plane. After the plane arrived in Angkan, Feng San drove to a villa first. The style of the villa is very similar to that of Sijukan and Linkhung. Secluded and deep, quiet and peaceful, the birds are singing, it is a good place for self-cultivation. Si fucking looked complicated. Why do you have real estate anywhere? Yeah, Yu Xian smiled lightly, because there are people who want to kill me everywhere, so I rely on you to protect me, girl. No problem. Si Fu was full of energy. Who killed you? It seems like a group of people I met twice. I don't remember who they were. Yu Xian pushed open the door with a cool tone. I only remember their fate. Feng San followed behind Si Fu, leaning and lowered his voice. Miss Si, Brother Ju heard that you broke up a gang that sold cultural relics, and gave you a special car, so that you can travel easily in the future. Can also be used. When he heard the car, Si fucking's eyes lit up. Sure enough, she can earn more money only by eliminating harm for the people. Si fucking's fox eyes were bright. Boss, where's the car key? On me. Yu Xian was cooking tea, her voice was warm. It's inconvenient, get it yourself. Oh, Si fucking stepped forward. Then you are not allowed to say that I belittle you. She touched him for a long time, but still couldn't touch it. After a pause, she raised her head. Aren't you lying to me again? Yu Xian put the last of the tea leaves into the pot. He looked down at her slightly, and suddenly smiled. Again? Yes, again. I can't count the number of times. Si fucking calmly said. Anyway, you are a black-hearted monster. Yu Xian raised her eyebrows and sighed. It seems that you didn't touch the inside of the pocket on the right very carefully. Sci-fi finally found the car key, and she quickly put her hand behind her back. Thank you, boss. Boss is very generous. When she was a rich woman, she liked to collect cars. Of course, another reason to collect the car is that every time she goes out, the car will be driven to scrap. She can finally feel her baby's steering wheel and drive. Uzion raised her head. That's all. Sci-fi blinked. I work hard. I got a new variety show, and I'm going to find another part-time job. Part-time as a non-staff technical staff of 00. Uzion hummed, you can think about it again. Sci-fi held his chin and started to think. Ziobai looked at Uzion, and then at Sci-fi, his little paws supported his fluffy face and fell into silence. How does it feel that its dog owner seems to be tricked? Would you like to remind me? Ziobai licked his paws and was about to jump into Sci-fi's arms when he suddenly smelled the food. Ziobai's ears stood up and quickly caught the location of the food. While Sci-fi was contemplating, it ran to Uzion like a fly, swallowed a gold brick, and burped comfortably. Then let the dog owner be tricked, and it's not a loss anyway. The next day, Gu Huiyan came back from the western continent. After submitting Sci-fi's map of the river and mountains to the International Youth Culture Exhibition, he was in a very good mood and entered the headquarters building of the TND Alliance humming a little song. What's different from usual is that there are many people around on the first floor, arguing about something. She must have stolen it, Chiao Qingshi said coldly. I've seen this kind of trick a lot. First let the antique be lost, and then pretend to find it, and then it will be close to the Heaven and Earth Alliance. Last time, there was a star who did this. Want to deceive him too? Team Chiao, this is indeed sent by Miss Si. A staff member was helpless, and it was said that it was a transnational criminal gang that sells cultural relics. The last time we borrowed antiques, they lost it. Chiao Qingshi only found it funny, and said sarcastically, so I said that she is part of this criminal gang, and even the programmers in the Alliance can't crack it. How did she crack it? She is not a college student, so where did she come into contact with computer technology? Even if she can't, she can find someone. The staff also felt a headache, but no matter what, these 3 antiques have been found, and the criminal gang has also been arrested by the Qinjun League. This matter can still be solved. How about it? Chiao Qingshi pursed his lips. It really can't be. But it is impossible to send the commendation flag to Sci-fi. What antique? Gu Huiyan heard it and came over. Is there an antique lost? Seeing Gu Huiyan, everyone hurriedly saluted. President, it's like this, the museum borrowed 3 antiques to a magazine. Chiao Qingshi briefly recounted the matter. Now I have found it, but I don't think it's that simple. It just happened that the antiques were lost. She just got someone to find her. Isn't this premeditated? Gu Huiyan's expression turned cold. You said that Sci-fi stole antiques? She also has something to do with the criminal gang that sells cultural relics? What are you talking about in your sleep? If Sci-fi really liked antiques and wanted money, he would give her all the antiques he collected, but unfortunately they didn't give him this chance at all. Not to mention antiques, the Heaven and Earth Alliance will do. Chiao Qingshi was stunned, never expecting Gu Huiyan to say this to him, President. He didn't understand why Gu Huiyan had such a big reaction. Chiao Qingshi paused and frowned. President, I am based on logical reasoning based on various clues. What technical personnel in our alliance can't do, how did she do it? She is just a star. I won't talk about how to do it for now, just talk about stealing antiques. Gu Huiyan said lightly. Did you know that I was going to give her $1 billion Xia Celadon vase at the time? Yes, just put it in my office. The one. Ziobai, I really have a black heart. In the next second, Ziobai, then let the master be tricked. There are only a few votes to 1,000, and we will add more roars in the afternoon. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 260. Si fucking doesn't even want the $1 billion Xiaoqinghua porcelain. Will she go to join the cultural relics trafficking criminal gang to steal a few million antiques? Gu Huiyan knew that Si fucking was short of money and loved money. But a gentleman loves money, and he takes it in a proper way. He really couldn't stand someone giving Si fucking such a big hat, and his eyes became even colder when he looked at Jiao Qingxi. And when Gu Huiyan said these words, everyone in the hall was stunned. Jiao Qingxi could hardly believe what he heard. He was incredulous. President Gu. There was a vase in Gu Huiyan's office, which he bought from an auction in the Western continent. Never borrowed, not even given to museums. Everyone inside the Tiandi Alliance knows how precious Gu Huiyan is in this vase. But now, he said that he actually wanted to give this vase to Si fucking. She doesn't even want me to give her away for nothing, she will steal millions of antiques, Gu Huiyan said coldly. Okay, you said she wanted to get close to the Heaven and Earth Alliance, then I'm here, and I haven't seen her either. How to get close? I can't wait for her to get close. Speaking of this, Gu Huiyan was very depressed. He was always the only one who rejected others. As a result, until now, his apprenticeship plan has not been able to proceed smoothly. I asked a few other old guys, and they said they didn't accept apprentices. Gu Huiyan was puzzled, which old man had such good luck and accepted Si fucking as his apprentice. His teeth tickled with jealousy. Jiao Qingxi opened his mouth and was completely speechless. More still unbelievable. Gu Huiyan is very kind, but he is strict, and very few people can catch his eye. He had never seen Gu Huiyan so close to anyone. Jiao Qingxi's face flushed. President, I. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Gu Huiyan raising his hand. Which group are you from? Gu Huiyan's eyes were sharp. I will ask you, where did you come from? Since your reasoning is so good, why don't I write you a letter of recommendation and let you take office in the Qinjun League? Jiao Qingxi pursed his lips, his face panicked. He was both embarrassed, and his voice was like a mosquito, under the door of Minister Li. Okay, let your minister handle this matter, don't stand in front of me to be an eyesore. Gu Huiyan stopped looking at Jiao Qingxi, turned to look at the previous staff. Come here and tell me the matter again. The staff was busy. After Gu Huiyan heard it, he stroked his beard and muttered, this little girl, she's hidden. Antiques have indeed been stolen frequently in recent times. He was also worried about this, but he never expected that Si fucking would directly take over a criminal gang this time. He could thank her very well. The key problem, however, was that he didn't know how to thank him. Talking about money is so vulgar. Gu Huiyan went upstairs to think, and the rest of the people in the hall looked at each other in dismay. Jiao Qingxi was still standing in the same place, blushing and blushing, turning into a pallet. Qingxi, you're going to suffer now. The young man beside him shook his head. Why did you bump into the president so by chance? We also said just now that people are stars in the entertainment industry. It is estimated that the salary of any film can be tens of millions. How can you steal a few antiques and send yourself in? You are too arrogant. This is a good time. It is estimated that you have no hope of being promoted this year. Don't look at President Gu's usual laugh. He is really angry, and he is much more fierce than the other two presidents. Jiao Qingxi didn't speak, but he was also very regretful. But why is President Gu so oriented towards this female star called Si fucking? Some people were curious. She was born in an art student. No, it seems that she just went back to high school, another said, and isn't there a few stars who also studied classical dance last time? I didn't see President Gu take a look. Several people talked one after another, but none of them understood, but no one dared to ask. Upstairs. Gu Huiyan was answering the call from Qinjun men. Kinjunmen said that they had intercepted 8 antiques that were about to be transported to the western continent in time, and they would be sent to Tiandameng at that time. Among these antiques, some were stolen from local museums, and some were obtained from tomb robbers, and the methods were very inferior. This group of people is really eating inside and out. Gu Huiyan slapped the table heavily, furious. How dare you sell my Daxia's antiques out, I have to go out and get them back at that time, bah. On the side, the middle-aged man rejoiced, fortunately, Miss Si killed them in time, otherwise I don't know how many cultural relics would have been stolen. That's it. While Gu Huiyan was proud, he was very anxious. Do you think she really knows how to use computers? What if this is seen by the people of the Kinjun League? The old leader is also looking for a successor, and he and I what to do with the robbery. The middle-aged man is euphemistic, it depends on what Miss Si means. There was another word he didn't say. You can't even talk about grabbing it, after all, your old man didn't make it to the runway. Yeah, that girl is not easy to fool. Gu Huiyan was relieved. I don't believe that the old guy can be smarter than me, so you can call the Bizhu branch and ask them to send something to this girl. She's filming an immortal drama, doesn't she? She should also use a lot of antiques and weapons. Let her not be polite to me, and borrow whatever she wants. The middle-aged man responded again and again, thinking to himself, this has not yet succeeded in accepting Miss Si as an apprentice, and he has already become an apprentice slave. President, there is something, the middle-aged man said, a workplace reality show in Daxiatai is being prepared. Do you think you want to attend as a judge? Gu Huiyan didn't even think about it, and closed his eyes. Don't go. The middle-aged man said hurriedly, but President, I have inquired. Miss Si reported this new staff birth. Oh, Gu Huiyan opened his eyes and said slowly, then I will reluctantly be a judge when the time comes. You show me the record of this show. Middle-aged man. This double standard can be regarded as understood by you. After he finished reporting, he went down to contact the Northern State branch of the Heaven and Earth Alliance. North State here. After Si fucking came out of Uzian's villa, he took the car key and successfully obtained a new car. The car is dark red, atmospheric but not unassuming. Whether it's the model or the comfort level, Uzian keeps her preferences steady. Si fucking originally wanted to experience the thrill of a drag racing, but before she started driving on the road, she realized that she had miscalculated. Today is the weekend, and it just happens to be noon again. As the capital city of Bizhu, Ankan's originally wide roads are impassable. After a 20-minute journey, and finally driving for an hour and a half, Si fucking arrived at Yejenmian's restaurant. Hey Ching Ching, why did you come back without saying a word? Seeing her, Yejenmian didn't even have time to take off her apron, and ran out immediately. Come in, haven't you eaten lunch yet? Bizhu No. 1 Middle School is also on holiday these days, and there is no one in the restaurant. At the beginning of Nian Ting's account, Ching Ching, why don't you say anything, so that my aunt and I will pick you up? You don't need to be so troublesome. Si fucking sat down. Uncle, are you still working on the construction site? Otherwise, stop doing it and open a restaurant with your aunt. Nian Ting Chu smiled, I'm fine, and the work on the construction site is not very common. Besides, I have a little strength, and I can't do anything else. Eat and eat. Yejenmian came over with a few dishes. Ching Ching, the restaurant you're serving is really good, and you'd better hire a few more waiters and chefs, otherwise I'd be too busy by myself. By the way, Aunt and Uncle, I have already bought our new house. Si fucking pinched his chopsticks, let's move there in a while. So soon? Yejenmian hesitated. Ching Ching, you are really spending too much money. Your uncle and I are really embarrassed. Auntie, you and uncle have never given up looking for me. I'm already very satisfied. Si fucking looked serious. I can be self-reliant, so naturally I have to repay you. Okay, Let's eat. Seeing that Ye Zhenmian's eye circles were red again, Nian Ting grabbed a cola chicken wing in time. Ching ching, you should eat more, you are too thin. After the family finished eating, Si fucking drove Nian Ting Chu and Ye Zhenmian to move house. Nian Yan went to the state gym with friends to play basketball today. He came home at 6 o'clock, and when he opened the door, he was completely blinded. There was nothing left in the house, including his computer, which was gone. Across the door, the neighbor heard the movement and opened the door. "Oh, Ian, your parents don't want you anymore. They seem to have a daughter and ran away with something." Nian Yan. He took a deep breath and dialed Ye Zhenmian's phone. "Mom, where are you guys? As soon as he comes back, what is the operation when the home is gone? Your dad and I were busy packing things and we forgot." Ye Zhenmian patted his head. "Your sister brought us to the new house today, come here quickly, the address is the central garden. When you arrive, say, I'll pick you up, you can't get in without an access card." Nian Yan. He may not be biological. He resignedly rode to the central garden. The new home is 200 square meters, more than enough for 4 people. Si fucking also carefully divided a small gym and game room. Nian Yan put down the basketball. "Sister Ching Ching, when will you be here tomorrow?" "Morning," Si fucking said. "Is something wrong?" Nian Yan hesitated for a moment. "I feel a little sick, and I want you to accompany me to the hospital." "No problem." Si fucking made an okay gesture. "Young man, you have your own secrets, I understand, I won't tell my uncles and aunts." Nian Yi breathed a sigh of relief, took out the paper that Lin Jiwan gave him from his school bag, and went to study. Early the next morning, new and old students from Bizhu No. 1 Middle School began to report. Today, the students all came miraculously early, and some even arrived at 5 o'clock, and the janitor hadn't woken up yet. "Ching Ching is here today? I must be the first to squat to her. Just ask who has our happiness and share a school with idols. Come, come, brothers and sisters. King baby, look at me." Si fucking anticipated this scene, and she put a huge snakeskin bag she was carrying on the ground. "Don't worry, I've brought a lot. Everyone line up, don't make noise, don't make trouble, come one by one. Students, look at other female stars, even if they wear private clothes, they will carry a canvas bag no matter how bad it is." It was the first time they saw the snakeskin bag. "As expected of you, Si fucking." The students lined up and quickly lined up on the playground, and more joined. Some people are not fans of Si fucking, but they also want to take a signed photo and go back as a koi to say goodbye. The movement is not small, and the teaching and research building can hear it. "Look, I said that when she came to school, it would definitely make other students unable to study at ease." Teacher Ai's face was ugly. "Now they're all around her, what's that like? She does not like students who study well, but break the rules." "Okay, MRSAI, I don't have class today because of the report." "What are you doing so strictly?" said the grade leader of the second year of high school. "I think this little girl is very good, and she has a lot of fans in my grade, but she doesn't look like her. Some stars even encourage fans to buy more albums and magazines. And I heard from the principal that she is just a student, not in the class. You can rest assured that the school's enrollment rate is unlikely to drop." Teacher Ai could only sit back again, but his heart was still very blocked. In the 7th grade of high school, Lin Jiwan didn't go to fight with other students, but just lay at the window and watched. Only she and Nian Yan were left in the class. She pushed Nian Yan's shoulder. "At the same table, isn't my idol good looking? Is she 10,000 times better in real life than in the photos?" "Well," Nian Yan didn't look up, "it's very beautiful." "Why are you so perfunctory?" Lin Jiwan glanced at him. "You're still not a fan, why aren't you excited?" Nian Yan put down his pen. "At the same table, I'll tell you a secret." Lin Jiwan was very curious. "What secret?" "Actually, She is my cousin. After a pause, Nian Yan added in a leisurely tone, dear.